As a testament for her work in agricultural development, poverty alleviation, education, and women and children welfare, she was recognized as the 2017 Most Distinguished Alumna by the University of the Philippines Alumni Association. And the following year, she received an honorary Doctor of Laws honoris causa from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our keynote speaker for today, Senator Cynthia Aguilar Villar.
Despite the continuing pandemic which has affected all our lives, we still have many things to celebrate, and among which is the milestone of the passing into law of the Coconut Industry Trust Fund Act, or RA 11524. The passage of the law is very significant to accomplishing our goal of uplifting the lives of our 3.5 million coconut farmers. I'm taking this opportunity to call all the partners of the coconut farmers in the government that we exert all the possible energy in ensuring that the set goal for our coconut farmers are achieved. Branded as the tree of life, the country's coconut industry is considered a major export, contributing 3.6% of the country's gross value added in agriculture. Still, it has so many more potential, and what I envision and I hope everyone here in attendance will also support is that the potential of the coconut industry redounds to our coconut farmers. The Coconut Industry Trust Fund Act, together with the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan, provide the direction in order that the government aim of increased income for coconut farmers, alleviation of poverty, and achieving social equality are achieved. There are many issues blocking the full growth of the coconut industry, and through the Coconut Industry Trust Fund Act, I hope and expect that this will all be resolved. First, the country's export of coconut can further be expanded if we could increase the production. It has been observed that the most of our coconut trees are senile, and if not, can only produce 40 nuts per tree per year. Thus, we have allocated 20% of the annual budget of at least 5 billion for development of hybrid coconut seed farms and nursery for planting and replanting that would be jointly implemented by the Philippine Coconut Authority and the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resource Research and Development, of what we call DOST PICARD. With hybrid coconuts, we are expecting 150 nuts per tree per year. Surely, increased production together with the other support in the form of training, insurance provision, crop diversification, research and product marketing, credit facilities, organization empowerment, infrastructure development, scholarship, and health and medical mission will break our coconut farmers and their family from poverty. According to the United Nations study, one of the factors that drag our agricultural sector from performing its best is the country's practice of monocropping, and this is something that is remedied under the law. I proposed and fortunately found support from the other senators that we actively encourage to promote crop diversification. As such, 10% of the annual allocation is identified from improving coconut farms through diversification and intercropping with livestock, dairy, poultry, coffee, and cacao to be jointly implemented by our Department of Agriculture High-Value Crop Development Program and the Department of Agriculture Bureau of Animal Industry. And then 4% annual allocation for insurance could complement the intended goal of increased production of our coconut farmers. Insurance provision would help our farmers by giving them peace of mind to face the different risks in agricultural sector like typhoon risk and flooding and drought. Continuous education and improving of one's knowledge on new technology on production and post-production of coconut is also supported under the law with an allocation of 8% of the budget that would be implemented by the TESDA and ATI for training. The topic of today's seminar on entrepreneurship is timely, appropriate to the direction which we hope for our coconut farmers and their cooperatives, association, or organization, and that is for them to be entrepreneurial and explore the other aspect of the coconut value chain. The law shall also support them on the note through an annual allocation of 5% for research, marketing, and promotion, and will be led by the Bureau of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Development. This will be complemented by the 5% annual allocation to the Cooperative Development Authority for the organization and empowerment of coconut farmers organization and their cooperative, as well as 10% annual allocation to PhilMec for the distribution of shared facilities for processing and the allocation of 10% for credit extension by the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines. In drafting the law and defending it, I wish to cover all aspects of the coconut value chain, which I believe is the key to success. Hence, 10% of the annual budget shall be used for the continued development and construction of crucial infrastructure that will ease the access of our coconut farmers to the market that will be implemented by the Department of Public Works and Highway. The Coconut Trust Fund belongs to our coconut farmers and their families, and through provision of scholarship for our coconut farmers and their children with an annual allocation of 8% and 10% for health and medical programs on top of the coverage of PhilHealth, in addition to the previously enumerated use of the fund. I have confidence that the quality of lives of our coconut farmers will be raised. I wish the webinar success and that each of the participants to gain considerable knowledge. Thank you once again. God bless and stay safe.
Thank you so much once more, Honorable Cynthia Villar, Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite all of us to take a look back. Let's see what the previous year held for National Coconut Week, and of course what we did for Coco-Kwentuhan 2020, ang pinakaunang version ng webinar na ito. And to share about that, let's all hear from our Deputy Administrator of Research and Development, Branch and National Coordinator of the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan. Let's hear from our very own DA, Erlene Manohar.
Thank you, Darrell. Okay, to the attendees, viewer, and presenters of Success Stories, isang ligtas COVID na araw po sa inyong lahat. Before we start our kwentuhan for webinar series of 2021, balakan po natin ano ang nangyayari ng webinar series of 2020, which focus on strengthening the value chain of the coconut industry. This webinar was made possible through the joint efforts of Philippine Coconut Authority and CAM, the Coalition for Agriculture Modernization in the Philippines, with the guidance of our national scientist, Dr. Emil Javier. The focus of 2020 Coco-Kwentuhan, pinag-usapan po natin in 5 days ang lambanog for its global prospects, paano natin isi-secure ang popularity o status of virgin coconut oil as functional food in the health and wellness arena. We also discussed the revival of policies of the oleochemical industry. The challenges of the coconut processing sector were laid down, and lastly, we also focused on the issues of the production sector by presenting the Coconut Coffee Towns model for the Ani Kita concept, at maraming nalaman at nagkaroon ng malayong talakayan. Yun pong sa ating labanog, was attended by resource persons and discussants from government and private sectors with vast experiences on the technical and business thematic areas of Lambanog industry. And we are proud that we have already penetrated the global market with this 100-year-old heritage industry that started as a rural enterprise of our forefathers, particularly in Calabarzon region. Essentially, for the outcome of last year's webinar, the Philippine National Standard for Lambanog was revisited for stricter quality assurance. Its global popularity was presented to inspire the rural producers that trigger awareness on regulatory policies and address and avert the poisoning issues in 2018 and 2019. It also protects the credibility of the industry that brought to organizing small-scale producers, and because of the webinar, other uses of the lambanog were explored, and PCA, with the support of DOST, a project on community-based production of ethyl alcohol coming from lambanog, was established in major coconut growing regions for local utilization of this byproduct of the lambanog production, contributing to the supply of alcohol in this time of pandemic. For the virgin coconut oil, prominent personalities shared the status of virgin coconut oil was one of the most popular non-traditional high-value coconut-based product. Presently, we are the second place as top producer. Why not make it number one? It can be done, and we are on the trail. Keen interest on the clinical aspect was given attention. As such, as an outcome of the webinar, the BCO emphasized the support of science and technology. The study on the positive effect of BCO against COVID through an interagency research collaboration led to the significant increased trend of market projection. Along this line, upgrading of the BCO, a Philippine national standard, was initiated, and GMP HACCP protocol was studied to ensure protection of the product quality. The webinar also pushed PCA to pursue the seal of quality, trademarking of the virgin coconut oil. Middle of this year, the International Coconut Community, or ICC, joined the bandwagon of protecting the quality assurance of BCO. And PCA Administrator Benjamin Madrigal is one of the invited resource persons to share the Philippine regulatory policies and product quality standards. Even the legislative support was provided through the support of Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles with his optimistic perception about BCO. For the concerns of the processing sector, the need to look back and revisit the oleochemical industry to provide additional value to the coconut products for its transformation. To restore the oleochemical industry, there's a need to increase domestic utilization of coconut oil. With such goal, one major impact is the establishment of more CME plants in the country in preparation for the indicative implementation of increasing CME blend from blend B2 to B5. Likewise, the revival of the Executive Order 259 is a major policy recommendation in the coconut industry roadmap. To realize the revival of the oleochemical industry, the provision of the White Copra Central in major supply grids can be adopted, which is unacceptable to the oil millers and which is an indicator of enhanced public partnership through direct copra marketing. Not only prospects and plans were discussed in the Coco-Kwentuhan. May mga problema din po, and these are major challenges laid down by the processing sector. Discussions from production to other processing sectors raised also their issues. From the point of view of the processing sector, The supply-demand gap is the priority challenge, and thus utilization of oil mills has to be addressed. Currently, programs of the government are geared towards increasing productivity through fertilization and massive planting and replanting, which will be augmented by the hybridization program. Research as the foundation of development will consider solutions to these problems in the R&D agenda. Under the 1DA strategy, the consolidation and provision of support to activate processing and product diversification in the rural areas will be prioritized. Money is nothing without kita, so we need to have income. Concern of the production sector on added income from coconut farming is imperative. Kailangan pong magtanim sa ilalim ng nyugan. Coconut and coffee is a perfect combination, both technically and for its economic viability. Key personalities were there during the webinar from the government and private sector, including the credit institution that can provide credit assistance. This coconut coffee towns model in Region 12 was activated with the existing partnership of the Department of Agriculture through High Value Crops Development Program in partnership with Nestle. In the same manner that the mapping of the other coffee growers is being undertaken by PCA and the High Value Crops Development Program. For the provision of shared facilities and enhancing market linkages, the PCA and DA is in partnership for this program. For the credit facility, Land Bank of the Philippines has an available window for this venture, and High Value Crops Program committed for the post-harvest and marketing improvement in partnership with PCA. This is the dream combination of intercropping for the farmers for their income and to the coffee drinkers. For the overall impact, next slide please, of the webinar 2020, policy reforms were identified to be instituted and adopted for the benefit of major stakeholders, focusing on the welfare of the production sector. The webinar served as a platform for consultation to identify the needs and prospects of a sustainable and conclusive coconut industry. And lastly, enhance inclusive engagement of the industry stakeholders were realized through this Coco-Kwentuhan along the supply value chain of the industry. And these webinar outputs were utilized or an input to the Coco Fair. Dahil po sa outcome or an impact ng 2020 Coco-Kwentuhan, ang konsepto ng Coco-Kwentuhan for this year, Coco Webinar 2021, ay kwentuhan naman tayo ng mga matagumpay na Coco negosyo, mga proof of concepts of different Coco negosyo modalities. This is the way to go. For this Coconut Week celebration, these are the topics for Coco-Kwentuhan. Ang tema ay napapanahon, sabi nga ng ating Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, at kailangan for the implementation of the Republic Act 11524. Ito ay may tema na Coco-Kwentuhan, negosyo ang pag-usapan, suporta ng industriya at gobyerno para sa magniniyog ay asahan. At this juncture, let me present the objectives of the webinar series of 2021. First is to inspire and recognize the farmer cooperatives, industry organizations, and private sectors that provided inclusive and unified business management worth emulating. Second, to educate by assessing and identifying the elements of success and management system that can be shared for adoption of others. Third is to transform the directions and interventions of the industry via development of coconut-based agribusiness corridors towards resilient industry with empowered and prosperous coconut farmers. For this 2021 webinar series, thematic success stories will be presented as follows. We have the cooperative-led, LGU-led, private sector farmer partnership, organization-led, and the role of successful science and technology programs. For cooperative-led enterprises to be presented, the key elements are cooperation, consolidation, and diversification. Next slide. For LGU-led, key elements of success are governance, commitment, and convergence. For private sector and farmer partnership, the key elements are loyalty, empowerment, commitment, and transparency. And for the organized groups, they are unified and bound by cooperation, convergence, unity, and regulatory policies. For the last topic, I must emphasize that no development without the support of science and technology. The research for development is the new paradigm for enhancing technology adoption and utilization, which are market-driven, problem-based, and addressing industry needs. Ang lahat ng ito, in 5 days, ay kasama kayo. Kaya tayo na, kwentuhan na mga magniniyog, mga eksperto, private sector, at gobyerno. Sama-sama tayo to propel an inclusive and vibrant coconut industry. Good day, and thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po once more. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our very own DA Erlene Manohar. Taking a look back at 2020's Coco-Kwentuhan, and of course, binigyan na tayo ng konting teaser sa kung ano nang mangyayari ngayong linggong ito, the next 5 days here in Coco-Kwentuhan 2021. But I think it's time for us to build up on that more. No? Nagtataka siguro kayo, ano nga bang mga tatalakayin natin sa mga susunod na mga araw? For that, let me help you out, okay? So for today, meron po tayong topic tungkol sa multi-purpose co-ops. And that's going to be sama-sama sa kooperatiba, sa Coco, Negosyo, ang lahat sasagana. Dito, makikilala natin at maririnig ang success stories ng 4 na multi-purpose cooperatives. And we'll be hearing directly from the representatives. First up, we have Yakap at Halik, multi-purpose cooperative, Lamak, multi-purpose cooperative, Balingasag, Coconut Sugar Village, and Bansalan, Coconut Farmers and Workers Multi-Purpose Co-op. Mula Luzon hanggang Visayas at Mindanao, meron po tayong mga success stories. Representing Yakap at Halik, we have Mr. Armel Amparo. Narito naman mula sa Cebu, si Miss Maria Elena Limocon mula sa Lamak. Representing Misamis, Balingasag Coconut Sugar Village, si Sir Mauro R. Alcibar. And last but not least, Mr. Victor L. Ortega from Davao del Sur, representing Bansalan Coconut Farmers Co-op. Yan. Sa day 2 naman, tungkol sa LGU-led Coco-Negosyo. Suporta ng lokal na pamahalaan ang masasandalan. Ang ating mga kaakibat na local government units, 1 from Claveria, Surigao Norte. An LGU from Javier Leyte. 1 from Alabat, Quezon. And last but not least, from Malingao, Tubod, Lanao del Norte. Maririnig natin ang mensahe ni Georgia D. Jongkangki. Mula sa Javier Leyte, andyan si Engineer Fernando Sarile. Mula sa Alabat, Quezon, nandyan ang kanilang mayor na si Fernando L. Mesa. At hindi magpapauli, si Mayor Leoncio C. Bagol mula sa Malingao. Day 3, Private Sector Farmer Partnership. Sa Coco-Negosyo, suporta ng pribadong sektor ay mahalaga. Narito ang ating mga participating private sector farmer partnerships. First up, from Primex Cocoa Products Incorporated, Cardinal Agri Products Incorporated, Cargill Philippines from down south, and last but not least, Amparitas Food Products Manufacturing. Mula sa Primex, nandito si Fatima R. Velasco. Mula sa Cardinal Agri, nandito si Joselito V. Abrogar, ang kanilang CEO. Representing Cargill from Gensan, nandiyan si Wilfredo B. Viseño. And last but not least, Engineer Ramon R. Barbarosa from Surigao del Sur, representing Amparitas. Day 4, second to the last day ng Coco-Kwentuhan, organization-led Coco-Negosyo. Organisadong grupo, susi ng matatag na negosyo. Ito ang ating mga invited and participating organized coconut industries. One from Virgin Coconut Oil Producers and Traders Association of the Philippines, or better known as VCOP. PACMA, Philippine Activated Carbon Manufacturers, and PCOPA, Philippine Coconut Oil Producers Association. Representing VCOP, nandyan si President Marco Reyes. From PACMA, nandiyan ang kasi ng presidente na si Isidro T. Ang in Davao City. And last but not least, Chairman Jesse Cheng, representing PCOPA. Napakarami nating nakaplano at nakalatag na gagawin ngayong linggong ito, this Coconut Week, 35th National Coconut Week. And to celebrate that, napaka-proud namin dito sa Coco-Kwentuhan. Thank you to all our participants here in Zoom. I can see na nag-chat na po kayo at naglalahad ng inyong mensahe. Later, meron po tayong Q&A after our talks, our keynote, our presentation, and our reaction. But as well, hello rin po and good morning sa ating mga viewers from YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely, lovely Monday. For now po, tayo po ay magkakaroon ng quick break. At during our quick break, we are going to be looking at the highlights of our past events to celebrate this Coconut Week. I hope you guys will stay with us. Sa ating pagbabalik, maririnig po natin ang pinakauna nating keynote speaker. Coconut Week, 35th National Coconut Week. We'll be back. This is Coco-Kwentuhan. See you later.
Welcome to the 35th National Coconut Week. This is the first time PCA will be doing a virtual exhibit. The objectives of this activity are to establish awareness of the importance of the coconut industry, to promote coconut products and byproducts and their benefits, and to encourage investments. We have 18 private companies producing various coconut products, participating on this virtual trade fair, and 2 government agencies. By using the mouse over and clicking the eye icon, our potential buyers will be able to see company information with contact details, address, and their product lines. By simply clicking icon button of the company, you will go directly to their booth. This is the Philippine Coconut Authority booth. All marketing collaterals like company banner, AVP, posters, and brochures. Contact information can also be found in the booth and the chat box for inquiries. In central setting, it showcases coconut products. All furniture are all made of coconut wood. The directory can also be found here. Coconut bioengineering technology. The technology refers to the use of coconut materials to stabilize slopes and minimize soil erosion by placing materials in sloping land and embankments. These materials hold vulnerable soil and permit vegetation to control soil surface erosion and conserve the productivity of the soil.
Umaga po ulit sa ating lahat. Welcome back. After that quick break, hopefully, mas ready na po tayo para sa mga susunod na ganap ngayong araw na ito. In the 35th National Coconut Week celebration, we have lined up month-long activities which was officially opened last August 3, 2021. The opening was live streamed on PCA social media pages and reached a total of 45,356 people in its audience nationwide. For the first time, PCA launched a dedicated website. That's www.nationalcoconutweek.com para po sa hindi pa nakabisita. For the general public to participate on the month-long activities without leaving the comfort of their homes and offices para po safe tayong lahat. This website hosts the very first virtual coconut trade fair and exhibit where the general public can interact, conduct business, and purchase coconut products from 20 participating companies and organizations by visiting their respective booths. As of writing, the website has been viewed almost 8,000 times, 7,596, so baka dumagdag pa yan, by visitors from over 36 countries, including the Philippines, United States, Ireland, Sweden, and China. These are the top 5 countries from which our visitors come from. Right after that, we held the investment forum on August 4 and 6 with Secretary of Department of Finance, Honorable Secretary Carlos G. Dominguez, gracing the opening program as the keynote speaker. The 2-day event was attended by a total of 240 participants. An initial amount of 4.31 million pesos was committed during the presentation of the 7 technologies such as cocoa coolers, cocoa board manufacturing, cocoa pallet, cocoa patch, village-level coconut water processing, coir processing, and coconut bioengineering, and VCO convergence project. Likewise, the virtual coconut business-to-business matching was conducted from August 9 to 11, 2021, and graced by the Honorable Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry, Secretary Ramon M. Lopez, as the keynote speaker. 3 country reports on new trade policies and market trends were presented during the opening program, which includes United States, China, and Korea. The event was concluded with 104 total matches made, participated by 51 suppliers and exporters and 25 buyers. With this event, we have opened a new market for our coconut products. For the first time, we will be exporting coconut oil to Lithuania. We will ensure that this is just the start and conduct subsequent matching sessions. The future is very bright, ladies and gentlemen. Our respective regional and provincial offices also conducted their Coco Day, wherein they set up physical trade fairs and online stakeholders fora. For the penultimate activity and the highlight of our celebration, we have from today up until Friday, so unang araw pa lang ito, Coco-Kwentuhan sa Negosyo. So once again, it's an honor to be at your service. Ako nga po pala ulit si Leo, ang inyong host. And again, I'm so happy to be here with you all throughout National Coconut Week. And of course, Coco-Kwentuhan sa Negosyo. Bumalik na tayo sa ating topic for today. This is day one. We're talking about multi-purpose co-ops. And I think we are blessed enough. We're very fortunate to have our keynote speaker live. All right. Our keynote speaker first worked at the city government of Davao under the leadership of then Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte for 2 years and served at the Philippine Sports Commission as a project development officer and senior executive assistant for 10 years. A true advocate of cooperativism. He is a proud member of Tagum Cooperative and El Grande Multipurpose Cooperative, where he served as an officer of mediation and conciliation committee at the latter. In 2016, he was appointed as Assistant Secretary of the Presidential Management Staff for Regional Concerns and concurrent head of the Office of the President Events Management Cluster. Now appointed as the new chairman of Cooperative Development Authority, let us give our warmest welcome to our CDA chairman, Yusek Joseph Joy Baliota Encabo. Good morning po.
Good morning, everyone, to all personnel and employees, officials of the Philippine Coconut Authority. Maayong buntag sa inyong tanan. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for inviting me to be your keynote speaker in this momentous event. And I would like to take this opportunity to greet my good friend, very active colleague in the government service, my idol, former CSAF, Sir Benjamin Magdigal Jr., who is your administrator of PCA.
Thank you po.
And of course, please accept my heartfelt greetings to your Deputy Administrator, Arlene Manuhar, to your guest, to your honored guest, Honorable William Dar, ang aking idol din, ang inyong DA Secretary. And of course, one of the prime leaders who is now a member also of the Senate, Honorable Senator Cynthia Villar. The Cooperative Development Authority shares the same commitment with the Department of Agriculture and the Philippine Coconut Authority in forging the country's agricultural development towards sustainability and inclusive growth. For years, our partnership has been instrumental in providing technical assistance and development programs to agricultural cooperatives and other agri-based organizations that are willing to be organized. This PCA's Coco-Kwentuhan webinar, I believe, is in consonance to your celebration of the 35th National Coconut Week. Please accept my utmost congratulations to the hardworking, dynamic, and dedicated personnel of PCA. Anchored on this theme are our forum's presenters, the exemplary coconut-based enterprises formed by the cooperatives who are yet to showcase their stories, their challenges, and their measures that can contribute to their own successes. The compelling results from these cooperatives are indicative of an effective whole-of-nation and collective approach to the coconut industry. Through farm clustering and forming of cooperatives, support from government agencies like PCA in the forms of training, capacity building, livelihood programs are optimized and easily trickle down to people. More so, this initiative will be instrumental in fostering connections and linkages to multi-stakeholders and continuously expand their networks. In turn, this will be a key in addressing the gap in sustainability and will unlock the potentials of the agricultural sector. The message here is cooperation, unity, and mutual support as we build back stronger amidst the crisis. With cooperative development authorities' strong participation and partnership with the Philippine Coconut Authority, we will create and explore vast opportunities to our coconut farmers and farmer cooperatives. Rest assured, my dear colleagues in government, to our partner PCA, the Cooperative Development Authority will give its unwavering commitment and support to bring the agricultural sector above and beyond. Muli po sa inyong lahat, congratulations at mabuhay ang PCA. God bless us all.
Maraming salamat po once more. Our keynote speaker, that is none other than our Honorable Joseph E. Incabo, Chairman of Cooperative Development Authority. Now, oras na para ating mapakinggan ang mga success stories, ang mga kwento ng ating multi-purpose cooperatives. 4 po sila. Again, from Luzon to Visayas to Mindanao, meron po tayong mapapakinggan. And for now, we will start with our representative from Yakap at Halik Multi-Purpose Hall from the heart of Quezon, mula sa Barangay San Vicente, Padre Burgos. He is the general manager of the Multi-Purpose Co-op. Let's all hear and enjoy the story of Yakap at Halik as represented by Mr. Armel El Amparo.
Ako po si Abel Amparo, ang General Manager ng Yakap at Halik Multipurpose Cooperative Quezon 2, Padre Burgos, Quezon. At sa kasalukuyan po ang Yakap at Halik ay ang layunin ay yurakan at alisin ang lahat ng sanhi ng kahirapan at simulang asikasuhin ang pagpapaunlad. Yun po yung yakap na siya nating pananaw o layunin. Ang mission naman po nito, hikayatin at akayin ang lahat tungo sa iiral na bagong kaayusan. Kung paiikliin po natin ang tunay na diwa ng kooperatibang ito, ang yakap ay pagkakaisa, pagtutulungan at pagmamahalan. At sa pasimula po ng kooperatiba, nagsimula siya noong May 27, 2006 sa pamamagitan po ng isang pananampalataya sa samahan ng 3 persona solo Diyos na ito po ay nakabase ang punong tanggapan sa Bundok Banahaw, Dolores, Quezon, na ang ating pong founder, kagalang-galang Jose R. Ilustre, ay nag-adhika na ang mga kabataan ay magkaroon ng pagmamalasakit para sa kapakanan ng ating bayan at para sa pagpapaunlad ng magandang kinabukasan sa pamamagitan ng diwang bukluran. Kaya sinikap po niya na ang mga kabataan at mga kasapi ng samahan ay magtayo ng microfinance program o isang credit service na nagsimula sa puhunang 18,000. At dito nagtayo ang kooperatiba ng isang community-based grocery store na siyang ikalawang hanap buhay ng kooperatiba. Naging maunlad ang grocery store na ito at nagkaroon na siya ng mga branches sa lungsod ng Lucena at sa bayan ng Agdangan, Quezon. At ang puhunang 18,000 na umiikot sa microfinance noong 2006 ay sa kasalukuyan umabot na ng nasa 180 milyon sa kasalukuyan. At ang kasapi noon na nagsimula sa 80 katao ay ngayon nasa 6,500 kasapi na ang 2,500 ay kalalakihan at ang 4,000 ay kababaihan. Tiningnan natin ang oportunidad ng kooperatiba sa larangan ng pagsasaka. At nung dumating ang panahon na mababa ang presyo ng kopra, dito nagkaroon tayo ng ikalawang hanap buhay at ito ay ang Copra and Whole Nuts Trading, na ito ay nakatulong ng malaki sa pag-unlad ng dalawang bayan, ang bayan ng San Francisco at ang bayan ng Padre Burgos, dahil nagkaisa ang mga magsasaka na pagsama-samahin ang kanilang produkto. At ito ay nakita natin na ang coconut-based processing na nasamahan na natin ng food processing, na yung mga intercrop ng mga luyang dilaw, luya, iba pang mga produkto ng ating mga magsasaka ay pinoproseso ng kooperatiba para madagdagan, sabi nga, magkaroon ng value chain ang ating mga produkto sa kalinangan o kanayunan, at ito ay iminamarket natin sa iba't ibang mga tindahan ng mga kasapi at ng kooperatiba at ng iba pa nating mga trade fair na dinadaluhan. Sa kasalukuyan, ang Yakap at Halik ay nagdagdag din ng hanap buhay na may kaugnayan sa pangisdaan. Nung makita natin ang suliraning kinakaharap ng mga mangingisda, lalo't higit sa panahon ng habagat at mahina ang kanilang kita, ay tiningnan natin ang oportunidad na humiling sa Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources o sa BFAR na masuportahan tayo na makapag-alaga ng mga bangus sa pamamagitan ng cages. At bahagi rin ng naging pag-unlad ng kooperatiba sa pamamagitan ng pagtutulong-tulong at suporta ng Department of Agriculture ng ating lokal na palalawigang pamahalaan ay nakapagtayo po tayo ng isang farm bill na meron po tayo ditong mga native pig, meron po tayong mga native chicken, meron po tayong broiler, meron po tayong kambing, baka, at nakapagtanim po tayo ng mga fruit-bearing trees na katulad ng kalamansi, ng kape, ng kakao, at meron din tayong mga vegetable farm at mga root crops at banana intercrop sa ating niyugan. Nagkaroon po ng mga pagsasanay na ito po ay nagkaroon ng training ng food and non-food processing upang ang bawat hinihiram ng mga kasapi ay magkaroon ng maayos na paglalagyang hanap buhay at masustinahan ang mga panghulog o pambayad sa kooperatiba. At ito po ay sa ilalim noon ng Kooperatibang Kabuhayan at Kaunlaran ng Kapatiran Multipurpose Cooperative, isang closed type organizational or associational co-op ng ang samahan ng tatlong persona solo Diyos. At sa programa pong Yakap at Halik, ito ay sinimulang buksan para maging community-based cooperative na ang layunin nito ay paunlarin ang pamayanan, bigyan ng maayos na hanap buhay ang kapatiran at hindi kapatiran sa samahan at magkaroon ng maayos na daloy ng pag-unlad ang kooperatiba patawid sa iba't ibang mga sektor. Kaya buhat doon sa mga training na iyon, nakita natin ang naging problema na kapag ang lahat ng kasapi ay nagtayo ng tindahan, utay-utay na higpit ang kompetisyon. Ang naging solusyon, pinulong natin ang mga may tindahan upang sila ay mag-usap-usap at magtulong-tulong. Kaya utay-utay nilang isinara ang kanilang mga individual na tindahan at dito nagtayo ang kooperatiba ng isang community-based grocery store na siyang ikalawang hanap buhay ng kooperatiba. Ang Yakap at Halik ay humarap sa mga suliraning pampinansyal. Sa katunayan, sa pagpapalawak ng kanyang operasyon, hindi sapat ang pondo na 18,000 noong panahong iyon. Kaya nagpapasalamat ang Yakap at Halik dahil naging bahagi ang UCPBCIAF para mag-provide ng credit line at siyang naging simula na paglalakas loob ng kasapi at ng mga opisyal na mangutang sa nasabing institusyon. At ang Yakap at Halik ay patuloy ding nakikipagtulungan sa pamamagitan ng pangangalaga sa kalikasan. May mga programa tayo na may kaugnayan sa pagna-nursery at regular planting and replanting ng mga mangrove at paglilinis na rin ng mga tabing dagat at ng ating kapaligiran sapagkat alam natin na ang kalikasan ang nagbibigay ng maayos na pinagkakakitaan ng ating mga kasapi. Sa kasalukuyan po, ang ating Yakap at Halik ay engaged doon sa isang direct copra marketing na programa ng ating PCA at ito po ay nagpasimula sa pag-uusap ng ating mga kasapi na noong panahon po na kinakailangan nating mag-consolidate dahil sa mga problemang kinakaharap ng mga magniniyog. Dumating po kasi yung isang panahon na sila ay bumaba ang presyo ng kopra at nagkaroon po tayo ng problema para doon sa pagko-consolidate na mahaba ang pila sa mga oil mill at hindi po tayo nabibigyan ng priority na mabigyan din ng magandang presyo. Kaya ito po isang naging challenge sa kooperatiba, partikular sa mga kasaping farmer at dito po ay sinolusyonan sa pamamagitan ng mga focus group discussion na pinag-usapan po ang mga solusyon na ito pong pagko-consolidate ay nagsimula nga sa bayan ng San Francisco, isang branch ng Yakap at Halik na lahat ng mga kasapi ay nagsulit ng kanilang kopra. Na ito pong kopra na to ay nang maisulit po doon sa mga oil mill ay saka lang natin binayaran yung ating mga miyembro. Kaya itong negosyo na to ay nagsimula na walang puhunan at hanggang sa ito'y magtuloy-tuloy at nagkaroon ng sariling puhunan at nakapagpalakas po tayo na nagkaroon po tayo ng branch dito po sa San Vicente, Padre Burgos, Quezon. Na ito pong direct copra marketing ay naging tugon nung panahon na marami po ang mga nagrereklamo sa mababang presyo ng kopra na nakarating po ito sa ating pamahalaan, partikular sa ating gobernador ng lalawigan ng Quezon, ganun din sa PCA. Bumaba po ang mga opisyal ng pamahalaan upang kausapin po si Yakap at Halik at napakalaking tulong po na ang Yakap at Halik ay naging bahagi ng mga focus group discussion na pinag-usapan po sa PCA kung papaano makabubuo ng isang proposal na ito po ay mailalapit natin sa DOLI SAUPI dahil alam natin na yung CME ay may iniiwang pondo para po sa mga coconut farmer. Kaya sa tulong po ng Philippine Coconut Authority, isang malaking pasasalamat po ng Yakap at Halik na nakabuo po tayo ng proposal na naisubmit po natin sa DOLI SAUPI bilang tugon po doon sa consolidation natin na ito pong mga miyembro natin na may mga niyugan ay hindi na para magdala ng kanilang kopra sa iba't ibang trader or mga maliliit na distribution channel, kung hindi sa pamamagitan ng kooperatibang itinayo ng mga kasapi. Ito po'y direct na natin dinideliver sa oil mills, sa mga oil millers, at malaking tulong po na ang J&J ay kapareha natin na regular po nagsusulit o nagdi-deliver ng kopra ang Yakap at Halik. Kaya nung magkaroon po tayo ng presentation sa DOLE, ay sila ang unang sumuporta para tulungan po ang kooperatiba na maipasa itong proposal na inilapit po ng Yakap at Halik. At bahagi po ng pag-aaral ng kooperatiba dito sa direct copra marketing, yun pong masustain yung ating mga farm worker or farm labor. Dahil nakita po natin na doon po sa level ng mga magniniyog, kukunti na po yung mga magniniyog na may kasanayan sa pagkakawit, sa pagbubunot, sa pagkakarga, hanggang sa pagpuproseso ng kopra. Kaya isa po yun sa pinalakas pamamagitan po ng programang Direct Copra Marketing. Inaral po natin na huwag mawala yung maayos na ugnayan ng mga farm worker doon po sa mga farm tenant o yung mga tagapangalaga ng niyugan. Ganon din po doon po sa mga owner. Kaya si Yakap at Halik po yung namamagitan doon sa mga gaps na nangyayari sa farm, na ito po ay sa pamamagitan po ng consolidation nagkakaroon ng maayos na pisada at pag-uusap ang laborer, ang tenant at ang owner. At sa pamamagitan po ng consolidation, ang Yakap at Halik po ang naging daan para yung mga produkto ng farmer ay magkaroon ng priority sa mga oil miller. Kaya ito po ay nagkaroon tayo sa tulong po nitong proposal ng MOA sa pagitan ng J&J at ng Yakap at Halik, at napakalaking tulong po sa pamamagitan po ng PCA, pinamagitanan po yung ating MOA. At ito po ay sa kasalukuyan ay nai-enjoy na po ng kooperatiba ang magagandang benepisyo na sila po ay nagbigay ng prioritization, na yung mga deliver nating kopra ay hindi na para maghintay ng 1 linggo, 3 araw, at nababayaran po ng maayos yung kooperatiba.
Sa ngayon ho, ay ang masasabi ko lang po, ang Yakap po lahat ang tumutulong sa amin, bumibili ng aming lahat ng aming produkto na siya ho bumibili sa amin. Sa tulong po ng Yakap at Halik, nakapagpabrood po ako ng 2 anak. Kaya ako po ay lubos-lubos papasalamat sa Yakap at Halik, sapagkat kung wala po sila, wala pong pag-asinso ang ating buhay.
Ang kagandahan ng partnership ng J&J at ang Yakap at Halik ay may mga magagandang pribilehiyo na maaari o nai-enjoy ang Yakap at Halik. Nandun na yung mataas na presyo ng kopra at mabilis na pag-avail ng services at yung mabilis na magpasok. Pagkatok nila sa aming planta, sila ay daglian ng pinapapasok. Kami sa J&J naniniwala na mapapaiting pa ang ating partnership at ang ating samahan upang ating sama-sama makamit ang layunin na matulungan ng ating mga farmers. Ang aming mga partners, nandyan na ang government agencies, PCA, DOLE, DTI at DA, kasama ng PLGU at ang private sectors, nandyan ang Shell, Philippine Shell Foundation Inc., Shell International at Philippine Shell Petroleum Corp., kasama ng ating mga co-ops na naniniwala itaas pa ang kabuhayan ng ating mga magsasaka at ang industriya ng pagniniyog sa lalawigan ng Quezon.
Dito sa Burgos, ang gusto kong mangyari, magkaroon ng pagkakaisa. Nung dumating na po yung pandemic, kami po ay nangailangan ng mga relief. Sa kanila ko po unang binili yung aming mga unang relief kasi ang katuwiran ko po, sila na ang unang makinabang kasi ibang tindahan, kasi sa amin naman yung presyo nila parehas din sa labas. Kaya mas ako na po ang akin, tinatangili ko sila kasi unang-una sila taga rito, pangalawa makakatulong sa kanilang samahan, pangatlo doon sa kanilang mga membro, kasi diyan po sa Yakap ang karamihang trabahador, mga membro ng kanilang kooperatiba. Tapos ang kanilang pong mariculture, okay naman po yung kanilang produkto, saka po yung kanilang iba pang hanap po sa karagatan. Kasi sila po ay kumpleto, sila po ay may bakery, may grocery, meron po silang Copra dealer, tapos meron po silang mga gulayan, saka po nyugan, saka po fish pan. Dito naman po sa amin, ang impact po ng yakap sa community. Maganda naman po kasi yung iba po naman, kasi hindi membro, sila po ay nakakautang doon sa kanila pong lending. At saka po, kasi hindi po kasama sa kanilang kooperatiba, yung iba naman po ay nakakapagtrabaho din sa kanila. Kasi ganito po ang aming ginagawa. Sabi ko nga, tayo magtulungan. Hindi dapat pinag-uusapan kung ano kayo at sino yung mga nariyang iba. Kumbaga na ating pagtulungan at pagsama-samahin. Kasi ang gusto ko kasi magkakaisa.
Naniniwala po tayo na anumang pusikit ng gabing karimlan ay laging kasunod ang bukang liwayway. Huwag lamang titigil ng kasasagwan at huwag bibitiw sa ating timbulan. Tiyak na sasapit ang lunday sa pangpang na may katagumpayan. Mabuhay po at magandang oras.
Maraming salamat. Once more, yun ang kwento ni Mr. Armel L. Amparo, ang representative ng multipurpose hall ng Yakap at Halik. So, napaka holistic ng approach na doon, and ang dami nilang nagawa in the recent year. So, more power to Yakap at Halik. But I believe for now, tayo po ay finally papaunlakan ng ating reactor. All right? Given that we have to move our schedule quite a little bit, and I think there's a lot from Yakap at Halik that our reactor can speak about. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you the former advisor of the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, newly appointed Undersecretary for Policy, Planning, and Research in the Department of Agriculture in just last August 10, 2021. And they will be joining us live. No? This is our reactor coming in live via Zoom. So let's all give him a warm welcome. The Undersecretary of Department in Agriculture, Policy, Planning, and Research Division. This is Dr. Fermin D. Adriano. Good morning po. Narito na ba si Yusek, si Doc? All right, yan. Siya'y panelist na po. And I believe in the time.
Daryl,
Yes po.
just a change of just called me now. He's with the Secretary of Agriculture.
Ganun po ba? Okay.
Yeah.
Sige
Sige,
po.
we'll proceed with the presentation.
Sige po. Mamaya na lang po ulit. Hopefully we can hear from Dr. Fermin later on. So let's jump on to our next multi-purpose co-op. And ito po ay ikakwento sa atin ng kanilang representative. Once more, this is from the Lamak Multi-Purpose Cooperative. I believe this is their general manager. We will be hearing the story of Lamak as told by Ms. Maria Elena C. Limocon.
In 1973, 70 tenant tillers and small farmers formed the Samahang Nayon with the assistance of the Department of Local Government and Community Development, or DLGCD. In 1992, the organization was transformed and registered as a full-fledged multisectoral, multipurpose agricultural cooperative, now known as the Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative. Over the years, Lamak MPC has metamorphosed and is now one of the biggest and most diversified cooperative in the country. The hardships experienced by its 70 pioneering members is Lamak MPC's inspiration as it continued to endeavor by holistically responding to the empowerment needs of the vulnerable sector through its various socio-economic programs. From the initial membership of 70 farmers, Lamak MPC has now a total of 105,000 members from various sectors to include farmers and fisher folks, micro-entrepreneurs, laborers, OFWs, SMEs, youth, women, PWDs, and senior citizens. The agri-sector takes around 60% of its total membership. Originating from a remote mountain barangay in southwestern Cebu, Lamak MPC is now in 49 branches and satellite offices, 32 of which are in Cebu, 6 in Bohol, 4 in Negros Occidental, 4 in Leyte, and 3 in Southern Leyte. The initial CBU of 3,500 pesos is now a huge 2.3 billion pesos assets as of 2020, supporting the various socio-economic projects of the cooperative, catering to the varied needs of its members. Lamak MPC successfully established a number of projects to include its water system project, now serving a total of 887 households, Co-op Mart, bakery, credit and savings, which is one of the biggest portfolio of the cooperative, with around 60% of it supporting farmers and fisher folks. 5 resorts, including one with a wave pool, 4 in the mountainside and 1 in the beach area, which significantly contributed to an increased tourism activities in Pinamungahan, Cebu. Soap and candle making projects, water refilling station, dealership venture with Coca-Cola Philippines, housing project, which is currently benefiting 125 beneficiaries, dormitory project in Cebu City, being managed by its youth members, 2 gasoline pump stations, garments making as assisted by DTI in 2019, and benefiting 54 women and youth. Driven by its vision and mission of alleviating the plight of its farmer members, Lamak MPC further diversified its operations through its agro-enterprise development program, guided by the clustering and value chain approach in agriculture. In 2013, the clustering approach was brought to materialize through the Farmers Entrepreneurship Program via the tripartite partnership of Jollibee Group Foundation, Catholic Relief Services, and the National Livelihood Development Corporation, which aims to transform farmers into entrepreneurs. The clustering approach was strongly supported by the Department of Agriculture. Lamak MPC institutionalized the clustering approach in all its agri-enterprises and offers holistic services to speed up in alleviating the lives of its smallholder farmers, such as access to capital, capability training, insurances, and facilitate market linkages. Over the years, Lamac MPC continued to select its right partners as it overcomes the challenges and help farmers deal their fears of sustaining their chosen enterprise. Lamac MPC also initiates to complete the agricultural value chain from production to product development, processing, market, and even bringing in farm tourism. All this yielded to positive results and outcomes. To date, Lamac MPC has different clusters of farmers and fisher folks actively participating in the Agro-Enterprise Development Program. Each cluster is composed of 10 to 15 farmers and elect from themselves 6 officers such as cluster leader, production coordinator, post-harvest coordinator, cluster secretary, cluster treasurer, and food safety officer to help monitor the food safety standards compliance, promote good decision-making, and practice shared leadership. In 2014, the vegetable farmer clusters were formed. They produce fresh and safe vegetables, program their planting and match the volume requirements of the market, while Lamac MPC consolidates and sells to its 110 institutional buyers. Even at the height of the pandemic, Lamac MPC continues to supply fresh vegetables to Cebuanos through the Kadiwa on Wheels program of the Department of Agriculture, which provided reefer van and hauling trucks that has helped sustain the enterprise of the vegetable clusters. Lamac MPC also ventured in cacao enterprise in partnership with the Canimers and Land Bank, a cacao seedling nursery with a capacity to raise 600,000 cacao seedlings was established in Pandacan, Pinamungahan. Cacao farmer clusters were organized and a total of 500 hectares were planted. A total income of 14.30 million pesos was recorded for 2015 to 2019. For the processing of safe and quality tablea, a processing plant was established through the DTI Shared Service Facility. In 2015, the dairy farmer clusters in Toledo City and Pinamungahan was formed in partnership with the Philippine Carabao Center as it works to further provide additional income for farmers through dairy production. A dairy milk processing plant was also established through the DTI Shared Service Facility and assistance of PCC for the production of other dairy-based products. As a marketing facility, 2 dairy box outlets were set up. To further expand its market, Lamac MPC also partners with the DepEd through its daily milk feeding program, serving a total of 73,000 malnourished students in Cebu and Negros. The reefer van, provided by the Department of Agriculture, helps ensure the safety of the milk during delivery periods. Moving further, in 2017, the Cassava Farmers Cluster in Bugos, Cebu was also organized. DTI, through the SSF and the Department of Agriculture, provided for the facility on the cassava chips and granule processing and a warehouse. For market, Lamac MPC partners with San Miguel Food Incorporated for cassava granules and chips. Since Lamac MPC has proven to have excellent management capabilities and a good reputation of running a business enterprise, in 2015, the co-op was chosen as one of the PCA's partners in Kaanib AgroHub project to engage in coconut coir and allied product processing. Being new to the said enterprise, Lamac MPC expressed to PCA that while waiting for the hub project to materialize, they wanted to develop its technical and management capability of the said business venture, and thus, PCA provided one old rehabilitated and unused decorticating machine in 2017. PCA considered the cooperative as one of the beneficiaries of a one-set coir processing equipment plus technical assistance through skills trainings.
We love the project, and then we approached the PCA to help us na maglakbay-aral mi dito sa Mindanao, and it came out that, oh, it's really a good project. It's a zero waste. I can justify that cocoa is really a tree of life.
Lamak MPC purchased an 8-hectare lot in Colonia, Tuburan, Cebu for the Cocoa Hub processing facility, and coconut farmer clusters were then organized.
With the Historia, were able to purchase the lot.
The coir processing facility in Tuburan was fully operational in 2020. Aside from coir-based products, Lamak MPC has also diversified its coconut product lines by producing cocoa sugar, virgin coconut oil, and coconut water-treated sardines and other cocoa water-infused food products. Food product innovations in the Cocoa Hub site was made possible through the co-op's collaboration with Cebu Technological University. Markets of coconut products include DPWH, various contractors, and several local buyers. Ongoing efforts are also being undertaken to respond to a huge export market for cocoa pit. Lamak MPC has also partnered with DOST Region 7 in the establishment of the first Science for the People Smart Food Value Chain Facility and Manufacturing Village in the Cocoa Hub site in Tuburan, Cebu. This facility provides the much-needed food safety and quality testing facilities and services closer to the people in the countryside and enables the development of significant technologies to provide value on the handling of produce and its conversion to safe, high-quality, value-added products. There are still a number of farmer clusters organized by Lamak MPC to include corn and rice farmers, cut flower farmer clusters, hog raiser farmer clusters in Cebu in partnership with Virginia Farms, Fisher Folk farmer clusters, free-range chicken farmer clusters, and youth farmer clusters under the Sustainable Youth Educational Program of the cooperative. All these farmer clusters are market-driven and monitored daily by Lamak MPC's hired agri-technicians assigned in every area to mentor and monitor farmers' performance and progress. To further professionalize agriculture, Lamak MPC also established its farm school in partnership with TESDA and ATI. Farm tourism was also initiated in partnership with the Department of Tourism. Lamak MPC's clustered farms have benefited more than 5,000 families. Soaring high since 1973, Lamak MPC continues to implement successful initiatives and programs in the agriculture sector. And what could have been the contributing factors behind its success?
Lamak is one of the parplang barangay of the town of Pinangunguhan. We are very near to the boundaries, city and municipality, but very far to our own municipality. And that is not a big challenge. Pag cater na to sa ilang mga inputs sa atong mga mag-uuma. Because we started nothing, we have only a limited cash, and then we source out our own funds. All the mobilization, ang maghihimo, manaygon mi, para lang anay funds ang organization. And we always believe that prayer is powerful. And it is our faith that really give us the inspiration to believe God's intervention. And it is not inculcated in the mind and heart of our members so that there be a solid cooperation. After that consumer store, we find out that the need of our farmers is not only more on the consumption, but rather to also increase their production. So that is why we opened the lending facility. Our financial cannot cope up during the time. So we also linked to land bank. Despite of some challenges, is that we are a sticker because of our passion to reach our goal. So what we did is just to visit mga existing cooperative nearby who are operating also the same as we have. And then we just copy all their mga best practices. And our mission is to strongly respond this vulnerable sector, and that is why our target clientele should be the small farmers and small fisher folks, including the coconut farmers. As of today, our aim is to consolidate, make our services diversified, not only limited of our expertise. I also believe that conversion is the key to the success. of the sustainability of our organization. In 2015, we started in our partnership with the PCA, who challenged us also to be a partner in helping the cocoa farmers. Through convergence, government facility like the Cocoa Hub is a great help, no, of the organization. It is true that Cocoa enterprise is a zero-waste enterprise. There are so many challenges, no? I should be honest that I really don't know to run the business. When PCA introduced the Cocoa Hub to us, we always know that this project will benefit the small farmers, especially the coconut farmers. Lamak and PCA will not hesitate to accept it, not because we don't know, not because we don't have resources, but we could be an instrument in bridging the gap para maabot nga dito sa mga tao. And we're thinking on the consolidation. All of the small cocoa farmers or cocoa association, we will welcome them, and then maningkamot ta nga kung unsa man gani ang volume sa to market, we have to pass it to nila so that Lamak na will be the consolidator. That is one way that we could now respond, no, the need of in terms of quality and quantity. And I'm so happy to share with you that when pobre magkausa, their piso will become thousand, millions, and we will not stop until God will say, okay na ang mga katawan.
Ako day si Ligaya Miras, taga Sudlon, Cebu City. Ako ang cluster head diri sa among barangay. Sa una gyud kami diri dili lang kay ako, kami gyud tanan diri mag-uuma nga mga small farmers lang ba. Lisod jud kaayo mi diri kay wala mi kakuhaan sa among mga financial kanang gamit gani namo sa pang-uma or mas kitawgo na to kanang pang-adlaw-adlaw namo nga panginahanglan maglisod mi pangitaon pa sa namo usa mi makakaon. Yun ana kalisod ang farmer diri sa Sudlon sa una. Pag human sa Yolanda, niabot pud ang Lamak diri, murag gituyo gid sa Ginoo nga murag sila itubag sa amo ang gipanginahanglan sa among mga problema ni atong higayuna. Kay ang amo adjong damgo dinhing dapita nga makakita ra jud mi og kanang permanente bitaw nga merkado para sa among mga utanon. So ni-appeal ra jud ko ato din paghuman, diretso ra jud ko pa-member. Wala ko nag-expect nga mahimo akong cluster leader, ang gusto ra jud nako mo deliver. So niabot si Lamak diri, nag-introduce ani nga programa sa Farmer Entrepreneurship Program or FEP. Mao ni nga sa pagkakaron ang among grupo murag kaloy sa Ginoo ning lungtad siya ning lambo pinaagi pod sa pagtabang sa among mga partners kay daghan na kayo mi og partners nga nitabang kanamo karon. Ang amuang pagpanguma karon hayahay na. Ay na nami mga gamit, mga kanang bag-o nga technology. Kay sa una magbisbis-bisbis mi amo mang kabuon. Karon na nami mga water pump, mga power spray. Parehas anay amo ang rain shelter. Kani di ay siya makapa-increase ni sa amo ang kanang production sa amo ang lettuce. Kay kung uwano ng among lettuce wala patay. Karon murag na bukas na gani amo ang panghuna-huna nga kanang mga bag-o nga teknolohiya kinahanglan jud mi mo adapt ana para sa improvement sa amo ang pag-uma. Kanang sa amo sang pang-adlaw-adlaw ginhawa na jud. Dili na gyud ingon nga pangitaon pa. Naa ako mga kauban na mga sakyanan. Na indot na ilang mga balay. Nya makapaeskwela na pud bisa mo mga anak sa college. Kuan na gani ka nga nana jud moy gamayng tigom.
Ako di ay si Emilia Himarino, nagpuyo diri sa Mohon Kolnya Tuburan, Cebu. Membro ko sa Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative. Una di na nga, gikuanan mi sa Lamak, yopiran mi, gitigaan mi niyag luna, among kabalhinan. Tapos ilamang gitagaan og kanang trabaho. Amauna ni karon nga nagkuan mi sa kanang pagkuan aning trabaho diri sa parte sa lobby. Kay kami diri puro ra may mga istambenara sa balay ba mga mama nya mo tong nagsorbi man ang taga Lamak ka pwede sila mohatag og trabaho sa mga ginikanan nga walay nara sa balay nga pwede makakuan og trabaho nga naara diri sa ato ara pod nga makatrabaho pa ta sa atuan, ya makakuan na ta, makatrabaho pa ta diri sa lamak. Karon kay dako kay katabang namo kay makapamalit na jud unsay among gusto kay naka kuan nami sa lamak ba na nami ma-income nga makuan pud namo. Kung unsay among mahimo makakuan na jud ni. Na jud na kanang gamay improvement ba.
Wish 175.
I'm Insoy Ninyal. Na ako sa banda, Bising Kilimon. Then my wife is also an events organizer. Pero pag igo sa pandemic na undang tanan nga business kay katong amo ang mga patrabaho nagsalig man to siya og gathering, so naundang tanan because of the lockdown. So nanguli we decided to go home to Pinamungahan, my hometown, to start life anew, no? Nabala kami kay wala may pangidabuhian na undang tanong source of income. So we started looking for other sources of income nga aron mabuhi lang mi. So nakig-meet kog mga officers sa Lamak Cooperative, and then daghang gyud produkto ang Lamak nga nakita namo nga potential kay siya nga mahimong hot item online. Ang dako gid ato nga item nga nakita namo, dako ay potential ang PC made from cocoa fiber. Mabuto panahon na nga kusugay ang mga plantita naganahinay nagsaka. So ang coco rope amo nakita tungod kay pwede siya himuong kaang, pwede siya himuong coco poles o daghan pang butang nga magamit sa garden. So moto we started selling the twine, the coco rope online. Nationwide na siya, Shopee na siya ang nakita, no? So we started with about 400 to 500 in taon ka PC, and then just a matter of weeks ning tubo siya in 2000s, and then naabot ang point nga ang coco hub sa cooperative dili na maka-supply sa demand because pipila raman ang mamuhatag PC. Kay di naman maato ang orders, so ang Lamak Cooperative mo deliver na diri weekly like 2,000 to 3,000 ropes, nabot to 5,000 gani a week. We had a deal with Co-op nga tagaan tag-twiner diri sa Pinamungahan mismo, gi-distribute ato sa mga households diri. So ning hatag ang cooperative og training ani nga households. So we buy the ropes from them ug kita na mo baligya sa Shopee. We built this store out of the sales nga nakuha nato sa coco ropes. So this is a store that's built by bunot, no? So Co-op really helped us, and then until karon magsige gid ingon, and whenever we are invited to talk, it's Co-op and the coco business sa Co-op nga nakatabang gid taon sa namo ni Mrs. nga mabuhi. And in turn nakatabang pud mi sa mga communities diri sa Pinamungahan nga makapabugas-bugas pud din taon sila pinagmay.
Indeed, Lamak MPC's success story is a God-given inspiration and motivation for our coconut farmer organizations.
Maraming salamat. Napaka-rich ng storya ng Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative. Ang dami nilang anggulo ng na na-cover. Dami nilang klaseng tao na natulungan. But once again, that was Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative. Let's move on to our next story here. And let's hear from the Bansalan Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperatives. And this is to be represented by Mr. Victor L. Ortega, their chair. Ito ang ating pangatlong storya ng multipurpose. Let's hear from them here, representing Davao del Sur.
Bansalan Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperative or PCMC is a product of the barangay Small Coconut Farmers Organizations, which was painstakingly nurtured by the Philippine Coconut Authority. Its existence began in 1990 when the 13 SCFOs decided to become a federation of small coconut farmers organization in Bansalan, Davao del Sur, known as Bafesco or Bansalan Federation of Small Coconut Farmers Organization. Bafesco engaged in copra trading with an initial capital of 50,000 pesos. Seen to be growing up in numbers and business volume and financial need, the Federation officers decided to convert Bafesco into a multi-purpose cooperative on May 25, 1999, initially with 256 members. As a multi-purpose cooperative, BCMC had been authorized to undertake savings and credit, copra and charcoal marketing, and a consumer store. What attracted coconut farmers to be a member of BCMC is the unique financial assistance of a cash advance without interest up to 15 days in order to produce the copra, or from harvesting to selling, which is uniquely BCMC's. By 2015, BCMC has a total membership of 1,665 coconut farmers, coming from the different barangay and municipalities of Bansalan, Matanao, Magsaysay, Hagonoy, and Vigo City in the province of Davao del Sur, and Makilala and Kidapawan in North Cotabato. Total asset of the cooperative as of December 2020 is already 86 million pesos. Its membership has grown to more than 2,000 coconut farmers and workers with a total subscribed shares of 36,213,700 pesos. BCMC has expanded its operations by opening its buying stations in the municipalities of Matanao in 2018 and Padada in 2020. The cooperative provided outright incremental income of about 1 peso per kilo of copra, in addition to the guaranteed weight accuracy which they could not ensure in other traders, and the annual dividends derived from the business operations. To increase the productivity of the members' coconut farms, they are encouraging their members to fertilize agricultural grade salt fertilizers. The cooperative are lending the fertilizers to their coconut farmer members. BCMC demonstrated a strong financial management, being very solvent and liquid. It only sought financial assistance twice throughout its operation. Example, from DOLE through a grant and from Small Business Guarantee and Finance Corporation or SBGFC for a loan line which had been paid in full. The cooperative focuses its programs and services along with copra marketing, credit services, and consumer store. Each area of operation is doing well and all are profitable mainly because of the patronage extended by every member in the cooperative ventures. Over the years, BCMC supported some of the members' children by providing scholarships. Truly, the true essence of cooperativism is practiced by PCMC.
Ako si Victor Ortega, Chairman sa BCMC, Bansalan Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperative. As one of the Board of Directors. As Chairman, being a Chairman of this, I've been tackled for 6 years. Tungod kay walay nahitabo nga General Assembly sa BCMC tungod sa pandemic nahitabo mao nga as usual we hold over the operation as board chairman sa cooperative. So as chairman of the cooperative, nakita nako nga dako kayo ang responsibilities nga among gi-tackle akong gipas-an nining maong kooperatiba. For 22 years operation sa sinugdan, membro lang ko diri sa kooperatiba tungod kay usab ni sa nagagikan sa gagmayng maglulubi. Among ginatan-aw tungod sa among goal, mission, vision o goal namo sa kooperatiba, din nakatutok kini as cooperative for pangmasa sa mga maglulubi. So ang challenges namo diri tungod sa nahitabo na mga up and down usahay sa operation, nakita man namo nga constant ang among consistent kami sa paghatag og mga maayong serbisyo sa kooperatiba pinaagi sa among mga palisiya nga gihatag nga gipa-implementar namo dinhi sa sulod sa internal control ug hantud man sa gawas. So bisig-bisig nagapadayon sa iyang operasyon pinaagi sa matawag na to buy and sell sa kupra ngadto sa among mga membro nga diin direkta gayud nga among ginahatag ngadto sa kumpanya nga diin dili na moagi og middleman.
Hello, maayong buntag sa tanan. Ako si Prima Albores, taga Barangay Clarin, sa lungsod sa Bansalan, Davao del Sur. Dugay na ko nga nalambigit diri sa BAFESCO or Bansalan Federation of Small Farmers Coconut Organization. Way back 1989, ang among barangay Clarin mao to siyang na-organize sa isa ka energetic person no other than Margie Digamo from the PCA. Siya jud ang nag-umol o nag-organize sa mga coconut farmers diri sa lungsod sa Bansalan. By 1999, tungod sa mga linkages nga gusto mi nga mulambo, diin gidawat siya ang mga hagit sa local government o sa LGU gikan sa provincial. Then by May 1999, nahimo siya nga kooperatiba. So, before, ang BAFESCO na-registered na siya sa DULI. Karon ang nakabot sa dugay nga panahon, nga 22 years, doon na namin wingban, ang kupras namo daghan pero mahal manggod, pero hinay-hinay na dagan. Diin kauban sad sa mga empleyado, nga mga bagong empleyado, kugihan, o honest nga mo trabaho sa kooperatiba. Lami na gyud to among scholar. Og sa amo ang dakong pagpasalamat sa bag-o namo nga GM no other than Cindy Andagan.
Maayong buntag sa tanan. Ako si Mrs. Rosie Gonzaga, member ni ining Bansalan Coconut Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative. Dako kaayo kong pagpasalamat sa mga tao nga nag-organize ni ining kooperatiba. Usa sa kung mahinumduman sa initiative ni Ma'am Margie Digamo as PCA technician nga na-assign din sa Bansalan. So nag-organize siya og mga tao nga mga mag-uuma nga gi-organize niya ingon nga Small Coconut Farmers Organization. So usa ko sa member, usa ko nga leader pud sa Small Coconut Farmers Organization nga nabilong sa nang kini nga kooperatiba. Dako kaayo siya og natabang para sa kuha sa among pagpauswag sa among pagpuyo. Na ako'y tulo ka buok mga anak nga nag-eskwela sa panahon sa mga kalisod, pagpanginahanglan sa eskwelahan. Dinidayon kumudagan sa kooperatiba dinhi sa BCMC. Kay usa sa programa sa BCMC mo ang dili lang siya purely nagapamalit og kopras, kundi dili pautang pud sila og kwarta niadtong mga mix kung member in good standing. Doon ako itulo kabuk mga anak o silang tanan na himo mga professional. So kaabag, moingon jud ko nga kaabag nako ang kooperatiba, ang BCMC. Moingon ko nga siya gyud ang among partner katabang nga nahimong professional ako mga anak. So tulos ako mga anak nahimo silang kahuman siya og nursing. Ug isa sa akong mga anak nahimo na pud siyang tanang regular nga empleyado na ini nga kooperatiba.
So may buntag dai sa tanan ako dai si Christian B. Abinido. So isa ko sa scholar sa BCMC, isa ko sa nakahuman sa upat ka tuig na mo nga kurso nga Bachelor of Science and Business Administration. So sa unang panahon sa ko untang pag-eskwela og college, lisod man gud kay among panginabuhi kay syempre ang cropping sa kaning pangupras 3 months maguna siya, so dili gyud kayo haom ang among income para ikasuporta sa akong pagpa-eskwela. Yun akong gi-applyan dire ang scholarship sa BCMC. So kaluy-an mi sa Dios, nadawat mi. So sa among 4 ka tuig full scholar mi. So wala gyud mi bayranon nga maski gamay sa amo ang pag-eskwela. Then nami monthly allowance nga 1,000. Then amo na siyang gina-liquidate every month. Dako kay kong pasalamat niining Koopa kay tungod isa gyud ni siya nga moy nag-mold sa amoa nga mahimong kung unsa among nakabot karon. Ko nahimo kong loan clerk diri sa Co-op. So 2 years na ko no gikan sa pag-graduate namo og tabangan ako ning nga Co-op nga mas mulambo pa kay kung wala ning Co-op pa dili gyud ko makahuman sa akong pag-eskwela gyud.
Mayong buntag sa tanan, ako di ay si Sherlyn Sibius Manggarod. Isa ko sa natabangan, dako kay ko pasalamat kay tungod sa BCMC, nakahuman ako sa akong pag-eskwela sa kursong Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management. Tungod sa gihatag na programa sa BCMC, diin ang mga apo ug anak sa member gitagaag benepisyo na scholar, ako nakahuman og karon isa na pud ko sa nahimong part sa BCMC. Diin ako karon nagtrabaho diri isip isa pat seller.
So may buntag sa tanan, ako di ay si Joel Glenn Lausa. Isa ko sa napili nga scholar sa BCMC Co-op. Makaingon ko nga ang BCMC Co-op dako kayong tabang kanako kay ako, akong pamilya, akong mama, isa ka housewife lamang ug ang akong papa kay driver sa pedicab. So dili kayo masustentuhan sa ako ang ginikanan ng akong pagpa-eskwela. Ingon man sa akong pag-high school, naglisod yapon pagpa-eskwela sa ako. Panahon niabot ang BCMC, isa siya sa dakong blessing nga niabot sa ako kay isa sila sa nitabang nako nga makahuman sa ako ang pag-eskwela sa college. Gihuman nga kurso nga Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, 4 ka tuig. Makaingon ko nga ako ang produkto sa BCMC nga ikapanghambog sa BCMC nga isa pod sa natabang sa BCMC karon nga gihimo ko nila nga isa sa empleyado, regular employee na diri sa BCMC.
I am Cindy E. Andagan, the General Manager of the Bansalan Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperative. Every experience growing with the cooperative are with a genius mind. I am managing the pool with the guidance of the Board of Directors and trust of the members. Every day, I am devising a new strategy to keep the pool with the challenge of times. Every day, I am learning the secret of the industry. Every day, I am growing with the cooperative. I am looking forward to the future possibilities of the cooperative. Of course, this is only possible because of the combined effort of the cooperative. The
Magbuntag sa kanano. Naday ka diri ron sa lugar nga di pa naigiyahan sa BCMC diin ang kaning natawag na plans balikan on site. Ako dai si Michael Sirto na asa ko ano diri ang in charge sa charcoal regulation. Ako'y dili na mo ginapractice. One, ini all that imo na paliton sa area tapos among koperasyon. Na ako'y mga kauban diri regular siya may sila kabuok ano regular gud nga trabaho diri di na upat ka pamilya matawag nato sila nga ang income is per kilo sila upat sila ka pamilya. Ang trabaho diri sa mga bugitay kining mga per family ang ilang income per family income sila ng 3,000 pataas. Depende sa among makuha nga lubi kay naay uban pod nga gamay ra pod naboy uban nga bulto sad mi. Depende sa among makuha sa kada semana.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga kaibigan sa Bansalan Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperatives. Very inspiring. Once more, the representative, Mr. Victor L. Ortega. Let's move on to our very last multipurpose co-op for today. We'll be hearing from the Balingasag Coconut Sugar Village, and their representative is none other than Mr. Mauro R. Alcibar. Ito na po, last but not least, I believe, slide back po tayo, I think. This is our story to be heard from Balingasag Coconut Sugar Village.
Ako si Mauro Rabi Alcibar, General Manager sa Linabo Agrarian NPC. Akong gimanage ang current enterprise namo karon 5, which is consumer store, banana trading, abaka production, tractor services, and the main enterprise namo ang cocoa sugar production and processing. Actually, na-establish ang ato ang coconut sugar since 2009 sa tabang no sa PCA, isa na daan nagtabang na through the click project sa Sadar. Natabangan kita mo ng nakatukod yun o building kwansya, approved siya sa FDA. Dayon nadawat po ng sakyanan na itong panahon na nga mo ay nakatabang lugar sa Palamco. Although bago pa ko, so nagpapisayod po ko sa mga sa history lugar sa atong co-op. So since June 24, 1997, mogid pa ang pag-organize aning LAMCO. Actually sa una sugod siya sa usa ka association. Gani pag start gid nila as pag-register gid nila sa CDA, 40 lang katao ang cooperators adto o mostly mga ERB siya, mga agrarian reform beneficiary. Dayon nag-ambag-ambag lang sila kumbaga sa atong industriyahan. Nag-sharing lang sila sa ilang working cap. Ginagmay lang gyud mo 20 shares man siguro to, dayon tag 50 pesos. No, hantod niabot sila 2,000 kada isa. So kami sa new management nagpasalamat mi nga nakaabot gyapon sa amo nga kumbaga henerasyon. Tungkol sa una, grabe pag-antos nila. Sa amo sa karon wala gid namo sila kalimti. No? Nga bisan to may panahon nga maglisod mi, pero amo una-unaon kung sa una ba kung wala sila mag-antos, dili si Lamco dili siya magpadayon hantod karon. So muna nga paningkamutan sad namo nga aron pag-abot sa sunod nga henerasyon makabot mo ni kato mga second liner namo karon. Actually halos may tanan position karon na ni second liner kay mostly magud sa mo wala mi makahuman sa pag-eskwela. Pero ang amo lang ipasigarbo is ang gugma ba pagtabang sa mo ang mga silingan, especially mga member gani isag dili member nakabig na mo sila, no? Nakabig na mo silang na kanang magpa-member sa co-op. So since sa una nagsugod sa 40 sa mga tao nag-increase. So sa pagkakaroon ng membro na to sa co-op is 410 ka mga members na siya. So out of 410 natay 43 ka mga ERB ana. So katong naka-benefit sa yuta from DAR o
mga seedlings sa una seed nuts from PCA. 64 hectares ang akong nahibawan din sa Linabo ang tabang sa PCA. Muna karon nabuo ato ang coconut sugar na to nga organic. So, since sa DAR-pod, nakatabang ang DAR sa pagdevelop sa ato ang coconut sugar production, no? Inaagi sa pag-mechanize. No? Kay kaniadto manggod is manual lang gyud. Kuraw-kuraw lang gyud siya. After ana gisundan po dayon sa pining convergence nato na which is ang ato ang nagfinance ana is yung gitawag og IFAD, International Fund of Agriculture Development. Pasalamat ni nga after nang pagsulod anang kuan no sa IFAD at 3 years 2018 na pustro siya. So, 2018 so nahitabo na yung Farm to Market Road tulo ka Farm to Market Road na new building duha dayon 18 ka evaporator machine na dili na magkuraw kuha na gid siya kanang mechanized na siya dayon duha dayon ka crystallized machine nga to mohimo siya og sugar. So salamat mi anak sa tabang anak siya nga mechanization tungod kay nakita nako nga nanami gawiran karon nga organic certification para mag-export. So nakatabang ang pag-mechanize tungod kay kinahanglan natog mass production. Dili pod siya molesan ang actually ang atong mga suppliers o atong mga supplier kay mas magdaghan pa gani atong supplier. Kay kaya man i-manage sa atong mga machine ang ilang supply tutuon man to. So makahire ta og daghan pa nga mga tao para mag-supply sa ato sa tuba. Actually ang ato ang toppers since wala pa ang pandemic 14 na sila 14 o ang ato ang kanang mga coconut owners is napulo siya. So this year before mag-in siya since nagsugod na ta sa pag-process no para sa export sa production nato nag-target ni og 35 to 40 ka mga suppliers sa tuba. So tungod po kay na po tayo bag-ong building additional na po nato ang employment na sad no operators another na po na production manager dinhi. So ato ang current nato karon nga workers sa processing nato is 24 16 na atong babae o 8 ang atong ang lalaki. So sa dinhi ang maad nato is 15. So na namin mga less anak nga i-add na to dinhi once nga mag fully operated na siya. Actually ang ato yung nabook na to na asset no karon na siya sa mga almost 8 million atong asset. So siguro next year dako na siya mabok na tanan convergence. So dayon ang among mga enterprise pinaka main yun nga kumbaga challenge sa amo ang working capital kay nakita na mo kung ang imong working capital is gamay ra gyud although mo ginansya ka pero dugay ang kung gusto mo ginato mo reach tag katong dako gyud siyang revenues no pagabot sa year. So kinahanglan mi ana mao gani nga nagsulod pod mi sa nagkalain-lain nga mga FI financial institution para matabangan mi pinagi usab sa pag-assist namo sa sa DAR no o ang DTI nag-assist gyapon sa mo sa pagkakaroon o salamatan no nga out of 5 enterprise ang atong main enterprise na to which is ang produkto kining coconut sugar proud gid mi nga moingon nga organic cocoa sugar na gyud no tungod kay nadawat naman gyud namo ang certificate nga organic gani nanatay plan nga mag-export this year ang taga fair trade na diin nga siya ang motabang salam ko sa mga pamaagi o usay angay buhaton kini mag-export ta kay wala pa mo gid sukad sila mo. So gawas ni ana kasi gikayon ko na nga kulang ang among financial working cap na mo. So nakig-partner pod ang LAMCO with Darno sa Rural Bank of Medina para maka-access kita sa kanang working capital na actually credit line siya 5 million credit line kay this raman siya sa PO kung paitan ay PO mga 3 million so mura sad to among i-draw no para atog yung malihok ang coco sugar. Atong demand karon sa export magsugod lang kuno sa 40 tons kay kanang isa ka container van is 40 tons pa na. So dili man ta maka-export kung dili na siya mapuno kay alkansi man ta. So muna nga mo-expand din mi ang coconut sugar, organic coconut sugar production and processing dili lang mahitabo dinhi sa Linabo kung dili pilan kini o nagparticipate ang 5 ka mga lungsod sa Misamis Oriental. Una nga among ipadayon pinagi sa pagtinabanga sa among mga kaubanan nga padayon ginamo ni nga bisan naaning pandemic nga mulahutay ni tungod sa kanang dako na pasalamat sa daghang ayon sa gobyerno nga nagtabang namo. May special PCA of course dili gina makuan kanang makalimtan namo tungod kay wala man tay sanggutan karon kung wala gid ang nagtabang pod ang PCA.
Idea.
Ako si Marilyn Dolombal, nagpuyo daning Barangay Linabo o membro sa usa ka kooperatiba nga LAMCO. Ang pag-starting ginako diri sa Coco Sugar, isip lang ako, usa lang ko ka utility 2010. Pagka 2011 na amiga na ako ang among dana mong production manager. So iya kong gi-offeran nga pwede ba daw kuno maka-extra dinhi. So ako tong gihimo nga mag-try po ko ba nga basin nakoy ika-share lugar sa akong kaibalo kung makatuon po ko kung asa nga klase po ka na ang ngalan nila Coco Sugar. So naitabo man gayud nga naka-extra ko. Itong una wala pa mechanical dryer. Nako sa silong na sign naning init. So hanto na rin to nga nagpasalamat kami sa mga sa gobyerno nga nagtabang sa usa sa LAMCO. Tungod kay naghatag sila og mechanical dryer pinagi sa DTI. So nasakas ko sa taas. Dito din ko nagsugod o kaybalo sa nindot gideng ang Coco Sugar diya sa akong pag-assist sa Manlutuay. So diya sa pag-assist sa Manlutuay, diya na ako nakita nga dako gid katabang kanako ang LAMCO. Tungod kay gikan sa utility lang ko nga ang akong sweldo 1,000 lang akong bulan. So sa inadlaw naa sa 200. So murag sa ako murag niangat ang akong kuan gamay. Pero bisan nag-worker ko, wala na ako biya akong pagka-utility kay labang na ako ang akong trabaho. So hanto na din to din nga naka-experience ko sa mga training, sa mga seminar nga nakadugang og tabang sa akong kagulingon nga nagpasalamat ko nga na ang Coco Sugar. Tungod kaniya nakaila ko sa akong kagulingon isip ako babay pero naaday ko'y kakayahan nga makabalo naman ko powder sa kuan sa asukar gikan sa tuba nga gipasa dinhi sa LAMCO. So giluto sa Manlutuay, gitamog din ako isip ako assistant. So nakabalo ko nga anaon pag powder, anaon sa pag-ayag, anaon pag sealed gikan sa dito sa pag-ayag, ibulad ato i-shield dali ni birang sa repack. Nakadugan og kay balo sa akong kagulingon. Sa kadugayon nako sir dinhi sa planta na tudlo ko nila nga isip nga mulantaw ko sa asukar, so quality control. Boto sabot nga kanang ang tuba nga galutoon sa among Manlutuay mag-aagad sa kuha. So gatanaw na ko nga kung medyo alanganin gid ang tuba, kung dito pa lang sa area na diferensya nila, so dinhi dili gid sa pwede namo dawaton nga good siya. So nabutang gisag nugod, so gamay ra ang presyo. Apan ang mananggiti ako sa silang gi-encourage nga kanang aron madako inyong income, inyo ayuhon ninyo pagkuan, tutol mo sa oras. So ilan ang ginahimo mo na nga mapagpasa pa lang dinhi sa planta. Mapasalamaton kay mi dinhi nga kanang nindot ang tubang nga ilang gipasa. So mabayaran sa co-op gito sa insakto nga presyo. Dako akong pagpasalamat karon sa kanang Coco Sugar, ilabi na sa among bago namong manager nga si Sir Mauro Alcibar nga kanang bisan karon nga taas magid ang pandemic na karon nga naapektuhan ang among co-op, pero pasalamat lang gyapon mi sa iya nga nasa sa among nagpaluyo sa kalisod nga among giatubang crisis nga among giatubang ang co-op. Pero mapasalamaton gyapon ko ni manager nga nasa sa amo sa luyo nga nag-andam og tabang sa among mga panginahanglan bisag ginagmay, pero malipayon kami nga naa siya nga nag-uban kanamo. Di na mo ibali ang kalisod namo, sir. Di na mo ibali kung unsa, basta makita lang po namo nga ang opisyal sa co-op suportar sa amo, okay na kay midana, sir.
Ako day si Herbert Bertudaso, 28 ang edad, 11 years na ako nagsanggot. Ako nakabalo sa pagpananggot sa ako rin pong isuon. Ako mananggot 35 ka punuan, katulo kong musaka. Ako madawat 5 ka galon. Ako sa una sa umar ako tagkuan ng adlaw tag 120. Karon nga nanggot ko moadlaw na og 1,000.
Ako si Reno Mulo, chairman sa LAMCO. 6 years na ako na chairman. Pero sa pagka-BOD sad, tuan na sad ko sa 14 years pagka-BOD. Ang LAMCO natukod sa 1997. Natukod ang LAMCO tungod sa carp. Pinagi sa DAR. Gikan sa DAR, isulod ayon ang PCE nga magpatanom og lubi nga unom ka variety ang niya dinhi karon sa barangay Linabo, Balingasag, Misamis Oriental. Dinhi gikuhaan dayon og livelihood kibali sa mga farmers pinagi sa pagkuha sa tuba. Ay potensyal nga nakitaan sa daga PCE nga dako kayo og impact o income sa farmers. Kay ako lang i-compare ang lugit o kopra, compare nimo sa tuba, mas dako gyud ang income sa tuba kaysa lugit o kopra. Kay mo income ang farmers mananggiti lang mo income og 18 to 24,000 15 days lang na siya. Amo na siyang i-compare niya na 30 ra ka punuan ang iyahang sanggutan sa usa ka mananggiti. I-compare mo sa lugit nga o kupra nga 3 months nga mahal lang og mahaling ka og 60,000. Ang akong ipanghinambog sa LAMCO mo sa niyang gikan sa kumat o BOD tanan officer nagkasinabtanay nya mo lagi na siya kung doon na kay ikaw usa ka officer o butang ta chairman, ayaw gyud pagpanlapas ngadto sa buhaton sa manager. Og imuhang gibuhaton do na kay malapasan pananghid. Magsinabtanay, kung dili ka magsinabtanay mo na usa nga makabungkag sa grupo. Magpasalamat ako sa member, supplier, mangluto ay sa Coco Sugar. Ito sa mananggiti, magpasalamat kay sila gyud may una dani kay wala say mahimong Coco Sugar kung wala ning mga mananggiti. Mo gini sila ang mga aktor karon. Mo gini pasalamatan ako na sila kay lagi naglahutay na suportar sa co-op. Pasalamat sa dami sa ahensya sa gobyerno, pinagi sa PCE, DAR, DE, LGU, BLGU, sa province, Pagro. Salamat gini nila.
Maraming salamat po. Muli, yun ang istorya ng ating mga kaibigan sa Balingasag Coconut Sugar Village as represented by Mr. Mauro R. Alcibar. Pero ngayon, I think ready na after the 4 stories of our multipurpose cooperative across the Philippines from Luzon to Mindanao, tayo magkakaroon ngayon ng reactor. And our reactor today will be a special guest. He is a chair board of directors at Nutrition Center of the Philippines at NCP. He's also the chair at the Board of Trustees, Coalition for Agriculture Modernization in the Philippines, Incorporated, also known as CAMP. And last but not least, he is also a national scientist at the National Academy of Science and Technology of the Philippines. Let's all welcome, here to give his message and his reaction to the previously shown stories from our multipurpose co-ops. Let's all welcome Dr. Emil Q. Javier.
Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. I am only too happy to substitute for our good Yusek Fermin Adriano, who I understand was called to another very important meeting. And I'm only too happy to substitute for him. Let me begin by calling out our beginning this morning. Kasi I listened very carefully to our good Senator Cynthia Villar. And very inspiring yung kanyang message. But what I want to call out sana lahat ng mga politiko natin ganyan magagawa ng speech. Kasi yung speech ni Senator Villar, substantive. Hindi yung mga pleasantly lang, joking and entertaining. Yan ang tunay na politician na talagang substantive. Kaya congratulations, Senator Villar, for your very substantive speech this morning. Anong aking napipick up dito sa 4 na presentation? Unang-una, siguro lagi nating nababasa na wala ng future ang agriculture, Philippine agriculture, kasi mahina ang ating sangay ng pamalaan, national and local, walang mga leader sa local level, walang mga social entrepreneur, walang nakakaintindi ng negosyo, na dishonest lahat ng mga tao. Pero itong 4 na halimbawa natin ngayong umaga is very good example that there is a bright future for the whole of agriculture, including and particularly the coconut sector. So, unang-una, congratulations to Yakap at Halik. Ang ganda naman ng title ng cooperative natin from Quezon. Very inspiring ang story nila. Kasama na rin yung Lamak sa Tuguran, Cebu. Ano ba yung isa pa? Yung Bansalan sa Davao at saka yung Balingasag, yung Linabo Co-op. Lagi ako napapadaan sa Balingasag. Anyway, ano ang common theme nila? Una-una ay coconut as a core livelihood is very appropriate for many places in the Philippines. Simply because we have so much land under coconut and we have so many coconut farmers and workers. So magandang core. But itong lesson natin sa 4, that will be very, if we organize our cooperative based only on coconut, that's a very narrow concept. So dapat yung coconut enterprises natin should be built into larger, more diversified kind of operations with products, coconut products, and other products, as well as additional services, principally credit and consumer co-op. And then trading, 3 yan. Yung credit, yung consumer co-op, trading, siguradong may negosyo yan. So, dapat yung ating coconut enterprise co-op should be should be part of that diversified product and services effort to ensure its progress. So napatunayan itong apat na ito ng yakap at halik, balingasag, lamak, bansalan na kaya talaga ng mga Pilipino. So hindi totoong walang mga enterprising Filipinos at hindi rin totoo na lahat ng mga opisyalis ng co-op ay hindi tapat, hindi honest. Kasi hindi pwedeng magprogreso itong apat na ito kung ang mga liderato nila hindi tapat sa kanilang pananungkulan. Ang isa pang observation ko dito, sorry to mga kalalakihan, mukhang very important talaga yung papel ng mga kababaihan. Lalo na yung halimbawa ng lamak, yung si Miss, ano ba pangalan yan? Hanapin ko yung note ko. Si Ellen Limokon. So I'm sure there were other people, other male people involved. Pero ang napansin ko talagang napakahalaga ng mga kababaihan sa kanayunan. So dapat pagyamanin natin ito. Ang isa pang napansin ko yung pala mga ginagawa ng DTI, DOST, nagbubunga. Kasi akala nung iba kung ano lang ginagawa ng DTI, DOST, DA sa kanayunan na wala namang nangyayari. Kasi ang nakita nila yung agriculture contribution to GDP hindi masyado umaangat. Pero pangitan-pangita dito sa apat na halimbawa na ito, na yung mga ginagawa ng DOST, bagong pamamaraan, yung shared facilities ng DTI, at very importantly, yung marketing. And I think I want to call attention of the DTI, talagang pagyamanin yung export ng ating mga produkto, coconut products especially. Pero dapat kasali yung mga co-ops, hindi lang yung mga big time exporters. Dapat kasali itong ating mga co-op. So, nabanggit ko yung continuing papel ng mga other agencies other than DA. Kasi hindi tama na asahan lang natin ng DA at PCA. Dapat talagang magkatulong-tulungan natin. At again, isa pang nakita ko rito, yung mga sinasabi yung 8-point paradigm ni Willie Dar. Kita natin dito how those 8 paradigms are put into action, into implementation by honest and smart Filipinos on the ground. And lastly, hindi masyadong nabanggit yung papel ng local governments. I'm sure hindi magsasucceed yung mga co-op na yan kung walang support ng local barangay leadership at saka yung municipal and even provincial leadership nandun yun. And finally, ito Chairman Madrigal, nabanggit doon sa ano ba yun, sa bansalan na kinikilala nila ang mahalagang papel ni Digamo daw ang pangalan. Hindi ko makilala si Digamo. Siguro dapat yung mga ganong klase ng worker sa PCA bigyan natin ng medalya. Maybe that is also a message to Secretary that that's how we are going to make good on the farm consolidation cooperative initiative under your 8-point agenda, considering with the permission of the Cooperative Development Authority, creating an agricultural cooperatives office in DA, and making it clear that the development of agri-multipurpose cooperatives is part of the mandate of all agencies of DA, especially PCA with its coconut responsibility. And accordingly recognize those DA people like this Digamo na mukhang malaki talaga naging papel niya doon sa pagkakatatag ng bansalan co-op. As an example, as a way of really encouraging our people in DA and PCA to really work with the communities in organizing agricultural multi-purpose cooperative, but in which in many of these places, the coconut sector is going to be a core enterprise. But tama ang ginagawa ngayon ni Admin Madrigal, while we are making sure that the primary production of coconut is going up with hybrids, selected varieties, with multiple cropping and fertilization and so on, increasing primary production, we have to put in more effort in the industrialization part, but making sure that the farmers and their cooperatives are very much in the supply chain so that they will have a better share of the total income and leverage in the marketplace. So I hope I'm able to capture most of the key issues in the presentations this morning. Magandang umaga sa atin lahat.
Maraming salamat po, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, that's our reactor. Coming in clutch. Thank you so much to National Scientist Dr. Emil Javier. Nice to see you again, Doc, from last year's Coco-Kwentuhan. Ngayon, I think it's time for us almost to go into our Q&A. But first, we're gonna go into a quick break, all right? Matapos po ng break na ito, tayo po ay magkakaroon na po ng open discussion, and we will have moderators and rapporteurs for that. So for now, quick intermission po, mabalik ang Coco-Kwentuhan 2021.
Ladies and gentlemen, isang masagana at mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to speak before all of you as we launch the 35th National Coconut Week celebration.
I want to welcome you all as we open the National Coconut Week, which gives recognition to the farmers and many others responsible for cultivating, processing, and bringing to the Filipinos a wide range of coconut products. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Let us continue to support the coconut industry.
Masinog ka, simpleng bagay, pagyamanin, palaguin at ibigin. Huwag matakot, mangamba, siguradong panalo ka. Masaganang niyugan patungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Ang buhay ko, tungo sa kaginhawaan.
Good morning. First of all, I congratulate the Philippine Coconut Authority for bringing together all stakeholders in the coconut industry to discuss the way forward at this critical time. I look forward to the outcomes of this forum. I am sure they will help enrich the plans that are being drawn up for this challenged industry. I congratulate the Philippine Coconut Authority and all the industry stakeholders on this 35th National Coconut Week commemoration. Thank you.
Pilipinas, halika na. Nasa paligid lamang ang iyong hinahanap. Huwag mag-alinlangan, huwag nang mangamba. Ang puno ng buhay ay pag-asa. Magtanim ka lang ito, tiyak ikaw ang siyang panalo. Walang matatalo, ito ang sigurado. Ang puno ng buhay ang ating pag-asa. Halika na, magtanim at simula. Niyog-niyogan tayo para sa kinabukasan.
On behalf of the Department of Trade and Industry, we'd like to congratulate the Philippine Coconut Authority to host the 35th National Coconut Week celebration. There are vast opportunities that can be found in the country's coconut industry, and our team at the Export Marketing Bureau, as well as our Foreign Trade Service Corps, will be glad to assist you in any way. While we are confident that the Philippine coconut industry will become one of the engines of inclusive economic growth, we hope that our international guests will do business with us, especially as we build back better in a post-pandemic future for the Philippines. Thank you very much. Mabuhay po tayong lahat, and again, congratulations to PCA. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat.
Mangamba, siguradong panalo ka. Masaganang niyugan patungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Ang buhay ko tungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Ang buhay ko tungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Ang buhay ko tungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo. Buko-buko ang buhay ko. Buko-buko ang buhay ko. Pilipinas, halika na. Nasa paligid lamang ang iyong hinahanap. Huwag mag-alinlangan, huwag nang mangamba. Ang puno ng buhay ay pag-asa. Magtanim ka lang ito, tiyak ikaw ang siyang panalo. Walang matatalo, ito ang sigurado. Ang puno ng buhay ang ating pag-asa. Halika na, magtanim at simula. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Buko-buko ang buhay ko tungo sa kaginhawaan. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, saan ka man ay mayroon yan. Ang buko-niyog ang siyang pinagkukunan ng sambayanan ng pangangailangan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan. Buko-buko ang buhay ko tungo sa kaginhawaan. Pilipino, masipag ka. Pilipino, masinop ka. Simpleng bagay, pagyamanin, palaguin at ibigin. Huwag matakot, mangamba, siguradong panalo ka. Masaganang niyugan patungo sa kaginhawaan. Niyug-niyugan, niyug-niyugan tayo para sa kinabukasan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oras na po para sa ating Q&A. After we heard from our reactor, Dr. Javier, and as well our stories from the 4 multi-purpose cooperatives, oras na po para magkaroon tayo ng konting discussion about it. Alright? So first up, gusto ko lang po kayong paalalahanan ng ating mechanics at house rules dito. sa Coco-Kwentuhan 2021. I believe na banggit na ito ni DA Erlene Manohar earlier, but I'd like to remind all of you na ito po ang ating house rules, no? Sa Q&A po natin, you can use the chat functions, and it will be a discussion facilitated by the moderator and rapporteurs, okay? Yung rapporteurs po natin ang mag-feed ng mga questions and inquiries through chat to the moderator. Diyan po natin maririnig ang ating mga tanong. And then kung kayo po ay non-registered, you can watch the webinar through Facebook and through YouTube, okay? Yun lang po. Please keep your microphones on mute kapag may iba pong nagsasalita, and make sure that your background noise is set to a minimum para po clear ang ating discussions. And please turn on your camera during the discussions so that we can have an engaging conversation. Okay? So, without further ado, oras na po para ipakilala ko ang ating magiging moderator for today's Q&A. Again, we are going to be discussing multipurpose cooperatives, and I would like to call on none other than the Acting Division Chief of PCA MRPD. Let's all welcome Ms. Joanna Eve R. Galang.
Maraming salamat, Dan. Magandang umaga sa lahat ng naririto sa Coco-Kwentuhan sa Negosyo participants. So marami sa atin ang na-inspire nang marinig natin yung mga success stories ng ilan sa ating mga best cooperatives sa ating bansa. So ngayon, dumako na tayo sa question and answer portion ng ating programa. Pinapaalalahanan ko lang po ang lahat na sa lahat ng magtatanong, maaari kong banggitin mo ng inyong pangalan at ang organisasyon na inyong kinabibilangan. Habang naghihintay, may mga message from chat box from Benigno Pexon para po kay Honorable Encabo and for the rest of PCA. How many cooperatives are there in the agricultural sector, specifically in the coconut sector? How many % of farmers are members of these cooperatives? And what are the peso valuations of these agricultural cooperatives?
Magandang umaga po sa atin lahat. Magandang umaga kay Dr. Pexon to answer that question. Ano po? Base dito sa ating current registry. No, ang lumalabas po, no, out of our yung original list po natin ay 2.5 million, di po ba, noong 2018. At ito ang na-validate na natin ngayon, nasa as of last week nasa mahigit na pong 82%, no, 81 more than 81%. At dito po mayroon pa ring nagbagong mga nagrehistro. No, ito po yung mga dati ng mga coconut farmers na for so long have not been in touch with PCA, have not registered with PCA. About 500,000 of them. So nasa mga 3 milyon na po tayo ngayon, ano, yung kung ano po natin yung ating registry. Out of that, base po sa hawak namin na datos, ano, ngayon, we have about 11,000 more or less mga coconut farmer organizations and cooperatives. But ang nakita po natin, ano, out of the 11,000, ang miyembro po lamang niya nasa mga 729,000 lamang. So nasa mga 25% lamang po, no, ng ating mga magsasaka ang miyembro ng mga cooperatives and organizations. So 25%. Pero doon po sa 11,000 na ito, at ang nakikita po natin, about 2,000 po yung hindi aktibo. So mga 9,000 lamang ang aktibo na organisasyon. And out of the 9,000 organizations, about 6,500 lamang po ang kumpleto ng documentation, no, kumpleto ng papel. Eh, sabi nga po, paano ka makakapag-avail ng credit programs, paano ka makakapag-engage ng ng legal transactions, especially sa export, kung wala kang kumpletong financial and business records. Kung kaya talaga pong napakalaki ng ating gagawin, no, na dapat ma-organize ang sa tulong ng Cooperative Development Authority and other partners. Kasi makikita nga po natin yung mga naging successful cooperatives have partnered not only with CDA, have partnered with PCA, with DTI, DOST, DOLE, no, and other agencies. So ito po, ulitin ko, sabi ko nga, nasa mga 6,500 cooperatives and organizations lamang sa ngayon sa Coconut ang organisado at may kompleto po ng documentation out of the 11,000 cooperatives and organizations that we have in our list. Salamat po.
Thank you, Admin. Nag-raise ng hand si Mr. Joseph Diamante. Paki-unmute na lang po natin.
Ayan. So, good morning, Admin Benji Madrigal and Chairperson Joy Encabo. Sir, si Jolo po ito, DJ. Long time no see. So, good morning from Development Bank of the Philippines. So, just wanted to say congratulations to the Philippine Coconut Authority and also to the co-ops, various co-ops that have presented their video presentation. I would just like to say na this is really what we envisioned the credit programs under the RA 11524 providing for the coconut industry. It's really the development of these cooperatives into not just producers but really thriving enterprises that can engage in up to the export market. So really just leveling this up. So ang tanong ko po is or at least ang aking request for PCA is also please help the two banks, the Development Bank of the Philippines and the Land Bank of the Philippines, to identify these cooperatives that are ready for financing. So of course, maraming levels po yung ating co-ops. They are not all created equal, kumbaga. Yung iba sa kanila may just have started their operations, yung iba established na po, yung iba kailangan lang po ng additional funding for the expansion, kumbaga. So ito po yung sanang gusto namin ma-target, yung mga cooperatives that are seeking expansion. Kasi the other the other components can provide the much needed assistance to those maybe smaller or yung cooperatives that are just beginning. So yun po, para we can focus on the development of the industry, which of course will also provide additional benefits for our beloved coconut farmers. So yun lang po. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jolo. No? As I've said earlier, dito sa atin, yung records, about 6,500 have documentation and are active. So ito yung siguro na basically mga ready, no, for natin. But siguro kailangan pa rin ng sabi nga further empowerment. And ito yung ginagawa natin with the Cooperative Development Authority. Siguro bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng CDA to react also later. Na yung programa po, meron tayong programa for organizing at saka tapos and strengthening. Meron din tayo for yung empowerment, yung sabi ko nga out of the 11,000 mga 6,500 ang mga documents. So itong mga 11,000 lalo na yung 2,000 na inactive, ito dapat medyo ma-revive natin. So we'll have to get in touch with these organizations together with the CDA and of course the other partners at the local level para makita ano ang kanilang naging problema at paano sila matutulungan. At ito yung naman natin, no? So may separate programs for empowerment and separate programs for organization and building yung capacities of our cooperatives into our organization to become sustainable cooperatives. Siguro bigyan natin ng chance ang CDA to react also there. Yeah.
Mr. Encabo from CDA.
A representative from CDA for the open forum. Ang alam ko si Chairman Encabo, I just called him earlier, mukhang nasa isa pang meeting. Any representative from CDA probably. Meron ba? Meron ba? CDA representative? Pakitingnan baka nakamute. Otherwise, tingnan natin ano pa yung natin. Other comments.
I think, sir, wala pong representative ang CDA. Mag-move forward po tayo for another question.
DJ, may I just react to Admin Benji? Just to, so Admin Benji, thank you so much, sir, for your, and we do Development Bank of the Philippines does look forward to a good partner with the PCA for the development of our coconut farmers and industry.
Salamat po.
So thank you, Jolo. Another question for PCA. What kind of mechanization is needed in the coconut industry and what kind of mechanization exists now? It is from Benigno Pexon po ulit.
Actually, sir, at the moment, we are finalizing our yung coconut industry development plans, especially at the different regions. Kasi magiging mga recommendations naman ito, of course, will be coming from our coconut growing provinces, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga coconut farmer organizations and stakeholders, kung ano ang kakailangan natin. Ang focus nga natin are village level processing facilities. Of course, kasama dito yung mechanization ng ibang mga mga current technologies, tulad ng sabi ko nga, yung decorticating machine nung tingnan namin, parang manual, kung makikita nyo, manual yung mga nandito, village level, okay din po ito. Pero sa ngayon, meron tayong inaano rin na mga industrial level, doon po sa, katulad po sa Javier Leyte, na meron tayong na technology, especially coming from India, na talagang maramihan na o industrial level yung operations niya. But of course, through the help of our local government and cooperatives in that area. At dito rin ang ibang mga yung PhilMec po siguro ang makaano natin dito, ang kasama natin, but kasama po dyan ang mga redrying facilities. Sabi nga, there are recommendations for white copra central processing village level and integrated coconut copra processing for, sabi nga, meron para sa coir processing, meron para sa, of course, yun sa ating oil, yung copra processing. And water, ngayon nakikita nga natin because of yung nakita natin sa pag-aaral na parang nawala sa eksena itong ating coconut water, which we saw na nandiyan naman sa nasa isa sa mga comparative advantage natin. Nasabi nga nasa mga 5% lang yata sa ngayon ang nagagamit. So ito po yung integration ng ating processing for coir, processing for of course the oil, yung processing natin sa shell, and of course itong coconut water processing. And all this will be finalized po pag matapos natin magkaroon tayo ng magandang picture pag matapos itong mga recommended programs and projects for the coconut industry development plan.
So thank you, Admin. Another question from Ms. Marilyn Villanueva de la Cruz. How many regions or what areas are covered in direct copra marketing? I acknowledge the presence of the Roel Rosales po here sa panelist po.
Ano yung tanong? Si Roel ba mag-respond? Ayan, no? Naka-mute ka, Roel. Naka-mute.
I will repeat po the question. How many regions or what areas are covered in direct COPRA marketing?
Magandang umaga po. Ang direct COPRA marketing po ay ating isang pamamaraan upang ang ating mga samahan na magniniyog na binubuo ng iba't ibang sangay ng mga coconut farmers, andyan din po ang tenants, workers na maging kabahagi sa isang sistema na kung saan magmemerkado ang ating mga organization, kasama po ang cooperative, upang makakuha sila ng mas magandang presyo para sa nyug o kopra na diretsyo nilang dadalhin sa mga institutional processor. Tulad po ng oil mill, pwede rin po kasi na coconut mismo yung minimerkado. So pwede rin po sa mga desiccated plants. Ang ating pong direct copra marketing ay atin pong tutunghayan yung sistema na yan sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa. Meron po dito sa Luzon, ang Yakap at Halik po ay alam ko po ay involved dito sa direct copra marketing. Meron din po tayo sa Mindanao at ito po ay ginagawa rin natin, alam ko, sa Visayas region. So marami pong lugar na ito po ay sinasagawa na. At lalo pa natin itong hinihikayat sa ating mga samahan na magniniyog. Dahil ito po ang paraan upang ang ating pong mga magniniyog ay magtulong-tulong, magsama-sama para sa consolidation ng raw materials. At kung may consolidation po, may volume tayo, maaari po kayo na makipag-bargain sa mga mamimili ng mas mataas na presyo. Dahil nandun po yung gagawa po natin yung may volume at may quality. So, ang amin pong pag-iikayat sa ating mga samahan, sa mga kooperatiba at organisasyon na tingnan natin itong sistemang ito na pagkamat nandyan na yan ay pagyamanin natin. Mas marami sana sa atin ang buklod-buklod, magsama-sama upang ang pagmemerkado ng kopra, magandang uri ng kopra ay maisagawa natin upang ang mas malaking hanay ng ating mga magniliyog ay magbenepisyo. Instead na pa isa-isa na nagbebenta sa mga oil mills, magsama-sama tayo, magbuklod-buklod tayo para may volume. Pag may volume, pwede ang quality, mas mapapaganda natin at dahil dyan, mas maganda ang presyo para sa ating lahat. Yun po. Salamat po.
Thank you, D.A. Roel. Question po for Yakap and Halik kay Mr. Armel Amparo from Marilyn Villanueva de la Cruz. How much copra were generated per month based sa experience ng Yakap at Halik?
So, si Mr. Armel Amparo, nasa linya?
Hello, sir. Magandang umaga po. Sa kasalukuyan po ay ang Yakap at Halik po ay nakakapag-produce ng nasa almost 10,000 nuts per day. Di halos po ito ay times sorry po ha kasi hindi ko po kasama yung aking operation manager. Parang kaya po namin na mag 40 tons to 50 tons per month. Hello po.
Nasagot po ba ang question niyo po, Miss Marilyn, about 40 tons daw po? Meron pa po siyang question for PCA. Do we still have a lot of farmers not members of cooperative but rather still do direct business with copra middlemen or agents? Does the cooperatives only send copra direct to millers, operator, also do business with copra traders and middlemen?
Ito nga, no, kanina binanggit ko kanina, sabi ko nga out of sa ngayon, no, nasa mga 3 million na tayo na registered farmers. Ang miyembro lang ng mga organizations at cooperatives nasa mga 729,000 or barely 25%. No? So 75% ng ating magsasaka ay either loosely organized o ibig sabihin ito yung parang temporary organizations or individually being nagtatransact ng business with itong mga millers or traders. No? O kaya ito nga ang isang nakita natin sa base sa mga data na nagagather natin sa PCA, talagang yung nakikita natin yung gap ng mill gate and farm gate price na yung kumbaga yung presyo ng farm gate may ano po yan mababa kumpara doon sa presyo na pag binibili na doon sa oil mills, no, na although naitaas natin sa ngayon, no, ang dapat nating nakita natin mapaliit natin yung gap na yan kasi yung pong gap na yan actually characterize ito yung that represents yung multi-level trader system natin dahil sa hindi masyado nagkakausap-usap yung mga stakeholders at hindi masyadong organisado. And we hope to be able to narrow that gap, no? Kasi sa ngayon yung nakikita natin pag tumataas ang presyo ng copra, lumalaki din yung gap na yan. Ibig sabihin, lumalaki rin yung kita doon sa traders na supposedly pupunta dapat sa ating mga magsasaka. At ito yung kasama sa gusto nating ma-address ngayon na mapaliit yung gap na yan so that masiguro na ma-maintain natin na regular yung kanyang yung presyo, no, para nakikita natin na kung tumataas man ang presyo ng ng copra, ang kalakihan nito ay pupunta sa ating mga magsasaka.
Another question po from Benigno Pexon. LAMCO has a study been made of the export potential of organic cocoa sugar. What are the quality, cost, volume, and regulatory requirements for cocoa sugar? Does the Philippines have an integrated program for cocoa sugar production and any information about competition from countries that produce cocoa sugar?
Nandun naman sa ating Coco-Firm sa assessment na ginawa. Siguro kung gustong itong ating trade and market. But essentially, ang isa pong tinitingnan natin sa cocoa sugar ay yung maiayos ang ating Philippine National Standards. Dahil sa ngayon, hindi pa klaro yung ating PNS for cocoa sugar na dapat maiayos, lalong-lalo na yung how do you identify na yun ay cocoa sugar, no? Yung na walang adulteration na nangyayari dahil minsan may mga issue po na nahahaluan daw ng maskubado, no? At dapat maiayos natin yung kalidad to make sure na wala rin siyang heavy metal contents, no? And that is doon sa ating processing. So inaayos natin ng quality standard, dapat ayusin yung process standard, no, at natin yung good manufacturing practices natin. May mga tayo ang isang mga natin na kompetensya diyan, of course Indonesia, no, at natin, but we have the advantage po, no, but kailangan pa pong palakasin. Dahil sa ngayon, kailangan ma-integrate, may ayos yung, sabi nga, through DTI, yung marketing natin. Kasi sabi, kung gusto natin ma-explore iba-ibang merkado, tingnan din natin ano yung requirement ng merkado. Kung gusto natin sa mga hotel ipapadala, hindi ka pwede mag-package ng kilo-kilo. Kailangan ayusin yung packaging. No, so ito po dapat pinag-aaralan natin at pinagtutuunan ng pansin through the help of not only sabi nga yung ating Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Standards, kailangan ng FDA, no, clearance, lalo na sa natin kailangan ng good manufacturing certification, good agricultural practices certification, organic certification tulad na nabanggit kanina, no, na dapat natin patuloy na titingnan. May idagdag pa po siguro yung aming sa trade and market.
Yeah. Good morning po sa lahat. Tama po ang ating mahal na administrator. Kailangan po dito sa ating coconut sugar production kasi ito ay food product. Kailangan po tayo GMP and HACCP compliant, and yung mga ni-require ngayon ng market is yung compliance dito at lalo na yung organic certification and then yung ating packaging and labeling. Yun lang po yun sa ngayon, but most of our markets ay nangangailangan talaga ng organic certification. And then in terms of volume, yung competitiveness, syempre the bottom line is yung iyong pricing. Kailangan po natin yung economies of scale. Kaya we appreciate yung kanina presentations about clustering and consolidation because somehow mga maliliit yung coconut farmers, the only way we can achieve economies of scale is yung ating consolidation and clustering kasi kailangan po ng ating markets yung sustainability and consistency of supply.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Another comments from Socrates Maglayo para sa PC Administrator. Madaming mga coconut cooperative ang capable na mag-produce ng mga products na gawa sa coconut dahil sagana tayo sa raw materials. Pero ano nga po ang hakbang ng PCA para maging marketable ang mga produkto? Nagpapatraining kayo regarding sa safeguards and food safety.
Ito nga po, no, nabanggit ko na kanina, no, DJ at saka doon po sa ating nagtatanong, no, kailangan iayos natin yung ating certification processes, no, not only for the quality ng ating produkto, no, yung maiayos yung mga standards natin, no, lalo nating mapagamba katulad po ng VCO with the help of our the OST, yung sabi nga yung BAPS, yung Bureau of Agricultural Fisheries Standards, at other partners katulad po ni Dr. Dairit, no, na lalo nating masusing tinitingnan yung talagang mai-describe ano ba dapat ang karakter ng ating ng virgin coconut oil para makita yung ano yung mga good qualities niya, no, based on sa kanyang chemical content. Ma-identify paano masiguro na wala siyang halo, no, yung sabi nga how do you really identify and describe the product, plus sabi nga makita yung masiguro yung safety, no, safety standard niya na yung ano dapat yung level lamang ng mga ibang mga lalo na mga heavy metals or other chemical contents nito upang masiguro na magiging na safe para sa ating mga consumers. And we are doing this in partnership, of course, with the other standards body, no, lalo na yung Food and Drug Administration. Now, maliban po dito, ito nga ang ginagawa natin sa Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan. Pinagsasama-sama natin yung kakayanan ng iba't ibang ahensya. Dahil sa ngayon, lahat naman ng yan ay yung core competency wala naman sa Philippine Coconut Authority, no, so kailangan marketing, nandito na po kasama na natin ang Department of Trade and Industry, kaya nga itong mga naging programa namin tungkol sa marketing and production tulad po ng business to business matching na medyo nakukuha na natin ang competencies, but still of course we need the partnership of the Department of Trade and Industry, our sabi nga yung ating mga agriculture attaches na nasa mga embahada natin, ano, at saka itong ating mga trade commissioners upang lalo nating makita nasaan yung mga bansa na naghahanap ng ating produkto, no. At by the way, DJ, no, kanina kung may tanong tungkol sa Cooperative Development Authority, meron na yata tayong kasama ngayon sa CDA, no, si Deputy Administrator Ray Elevaso.
Yes, sir. Magandang umaga po.
Ayan. So kung may yung tanong kanina, kung gusto nating ulitin para sa CDA, andito na yata yung taga-CDA to answer that question.
Good morning po, Sir Ray. Ulitin ko lang po yung
Yes,
question.
magandang umaga po.
Sir Benigno Pecson.
Yes po.
How many cooperatives are there in the agricultural sector, specifically in the coconut sector? How many % of farmers are members of these cooperatives? And what are the PESA valuations of these agricultural cooperatives?
Yun pong patungkol sa number of coconut farmers cooperative sa ating pong kabuuan ng kooperatiba sa Pilipinas. Sa kasalukuyan po ay meron kaming ugnayan with the PCA at tinitingnan namin meron tayong humigit kumulang 1,000 na cooperative coconut farmers cooperatives. At pagdating po sa kabuuan ng farmers cooperative po, binibilang na natin dito yung mga cooperatives in the rural areas and other cooperatives in the rural areas, other cooperatives in agriculture. Meron pong more than 5,000, nasa 7,000 po ang mga kooperatiba na may mga membro na farmers cooperatives. So pero sa bilang po na individual, hindi po natin pa masyadong nakikita sa ating statistika. Ni-improve pa natin yung ating statistika patungkol po dito sa individual membership po ng ating pong coconut farmers. So yes po.
Anyway, kay DA, may may sinagot ko naman kanina din, yung total membership sa Coconut Farmers Organization. So lumalabas, kung we have 1,000 cooperatives, and dito on the whole, sa ngayon, ang aming datos nasa mga about 11,000 cooperatives and organizations. Essentially, mga 10% lamang ang kooperatiba. Doon sa wala pang 10% talagang ang kooperatiba sa ngayon sa sektor ng coconut.
Yes po. Kaya po medyo tall order po talaga magsisikap po tayo na bigyan ng tugon ito pong organizing sa cooperatives pagdating po sa ating mga associations.
Kasi nga, sabi ko, mga 25% lang, 729,000 ang members ng organizations. And we have 3 million farmers. So basically 25% lamang ang organisado. Tapos iba pa doon sa mga ibang organization, 2,000 ang inactive among the coconut farmer organization na kailangan natin buhayin ulit.
Tama po. At doon po nakatuon yung ating pong major na pagsisikap doon po sa transformation tsaka empowerment ng coco farmers cooperatives po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you pa.
Thank you, Sir Ray. From Marilyn Villanueva de la Cruz, how does the cooperative standardize the buying cost of copra from farmers? What is the basis of the buying price?
Market.
Pagdating po sa buying price in terms of the operation of cooperatives, talagang ang determining factor po niyan na market pa rin po at saka yung expenses ng ating mga kooperatiba, yung cost ng incurred by our cooperatives sa operation nila in terms of marketing, in terms of buying the produce of our coco farmers. So it may vary po, it may vary pagdating po sa buying price.
Ms. Rose would like to add something po.
Good morning. Normally, ang basis po ng buying price is yung buying price din po ng ating ultimate market. And the only way that the cooperatives can have a higher profit margin is to manage their expenses. Kaya importante na all cooperatives, when they do business, they should know the cost structure sa kanilang bawat isang product so that they would know when and up to what level they could set their prices.
Pero magtanong tayo, tanungin natin yung ating mga kooperatiba kung ano yung mga naging practice nila. No?
We would like to seek answers from cooperatives like Yakap at Halik. Paano po ba yung mga best practices po? How do they negotiate po yung prices po for Copra?
Lamang po yan.
Hello po. Para po sa Yakap at Halik, bale, tatlo po yung aming ikino-consider. Una po, yung atin pong prevailing market price, yung presyo po ng mga oil millers. Then ikalawa po, yung competitive advantage. Tinitingnan po natin kung ano yung tumatakbong presyo sa ating mga competitors. At ikatlo po, tinitingnan po natin yung farmers concern. Yun pong accepted price ng ating mga farmer. Through that three basis, doon po kami lalagay ng price per kilo or anuman yung ng ating kopra. Ganun po yung ating basihan sa pagpepresyo po ng produkto.
From Lamak po, Ms. Limocon.
Sa Lamak po, tulad din po sa ginagawa po ng yung sa Yakap at Yakap na cooperative. But then, we always ensure that after searching kung magkano yung prevailing market versus sa aming operating expense, kailangan po kami po ay may talagang mas higher po kami. Halimbawa, kung the market is 40, and then we have to add 1 peso, so that it will also tulong naman po sa ating mga magsasaka. And other than that, the most important is to let our cocoa farmers understand that in the cooperative, they should supply to the co-op because they can also avail not only the price of their copra, but then they can also avail the patronage refund. So at the end of the year, all the copra that we are na binibili po namin sa aming mga farmers ay mayroon silang record. At magkano naman po yung profit out of that, they can also benefit by having the patronage refund. So for our engagement with the PCA and Region 7, at least kung magkano man ang presyo sa middleman and even in the private, we should be higher than even 1 peso. So yan po ang aming ginagawa.
Follow-up question from Ms. Marilyn for Yakap and Lamak. What is the source of reference for prevailing market price as you mentioned?
Hello po. Bale, lahat po ng oil mill na nasa area para po sa Yakap at Halik, nagkakaroon po tayo ng canvassing kasi bagamat meron po tayong mga MOA, tinitingnan din po natin kasi ito yung magiging batayan ng iba nating mga competitor kasi iba-iba yung pinagdadalhan. Check din po tayo ng price na ito po yung dinideklara po ng mga nasa industriya, nasa oil mill group. Kaya yun po, kaibigan natin sila para malaman natin yung mga presyo nila at ito po yung isa sa batayan natin doon sa pagko-compute. At katulad din po ng Lamak, napakaganda po. May mga advantage po tayo as organic yung ating mga farm. Nagbibigay po si Yakap at Halik ng additional 1.50 na ito po ay nai-enjoy ng ating mga farmer. At the same time po, may mga marketing techniques po tayo para maging solid yung ating mga members kasi alam natin sa competition, lalo ngayon, malaki po yung advantage ng patronage refund, dividend, at saka po yung iba pang mga libreng merienda ng ating mga farmer na kapag nagdala sila ng kopra, nai-entertain yung hospitality ng co-op pabalik dun sa mga member. At the same time, kung may mga concern sila na bakit ganito ang presyo ng ibang mga buyer o consolidator, ito po yung aming pinag-aaralan, pinag-uusapan sa level na sa member and the cooperative para ma-enhance pa yung mga products and services na ginagawa po ni Kooperatiba para mas maging strong yung relationship natin with the members.
Last two question na lang ba tayo? From Benly Vinluan, is there a list of coconut farmer organization or cooperative that is accessible by the public or private entrepreneurs? From PCA po, D.A. Roel Rosales.
Opo, may mga tala po tayo ng mga iba't ibang samahan ng mga pagniniyog sa Pilipinas. Ito po ay nakabalangkas by region, even by province po. So kung kinakailangan niyo po ang sipi ng listahan nitong mga ito, ay mag-request lang po kayo sa kaukulang opisina, pwede rin po dito sa central office, at maaari po natin ibigay. Of course, mindful of the Data Privacy Act. So, listahan ng pangalan, address, maaari po natin ibigay yan. Listahan po ng samahan, ilang miyembro, address po, point person, maaari po natin ipamigay po yan. Salamat po.
Sa punto po naman ng Cooperative Development Authority, meron din po tayong listahan ng mga coconut farmers cooperatives. And yun nga po, nililinaw natin ito sa pamamagitan ng pakikipag-ugnayan sa PCA. Pero ngayon po, may mga pana po kami, medyo maayos-ayos na itong listahan na ito at identified na namin yung mga coconut farmers cooperatives natin. Thank you. Thank you.
Last question po from anybody. Nag-raise po ng hand si Miss Violeta Villegas.
Yes, the success of the 4 co-ops is very inspiring, but there are also co-ops, perhaps many, that failed. What lessons can be derived from the successes and failures of co-ops so we can have more successful coconut cooperatives? Perhaps one aspect is professional management of co-ops.
Tama po kayo, no? Tama po kayo, ma'am, sa na ito, no. Una sa lahat yung puso, at dedikasyon ng ating mga lalong-lalo na ng leaders ng ating kooperatiba. Pangalawa, yung pong suporta from partner agencies, kasi kung makikita po natin among the lessons na nakikita na common doon sa mga istorya na ipinakita kanina, they develop partnership hindi lamang po sa PCA. Sabi nga, merong iba na ang tumulong, DOLE, meron Department of Trade and Industry, may suporta ang Science and Technology, may suporta ang lokal na pamahalaan, and of course credit facilities, dahil ang nakikita nila pag kulang ang kanilang kapital, paano sila natulungan ng Land Bank at ng Development Bank of the Philippines. So yung access sa kapital ang isa sa nakita natin na paano nila na-resolve, ito ay naging tulong dito yung ating mga lending agencies. Isa rin yung nakita natin yung training na ginawa nila. In fact, may sa Yakap at Halik parang nagtayo pa sila ng ng farm school para sa kanilang mga members upang makita kung ma-standardize yung proseso at maintindihan kung paano gagawin na training, lalong-lalo na doon sa iba naman, no, sa Bansalan at saka sa Misamis Oriental, yung pinipon nila yung mga tao kung paano gagamitin yung mga yung ating mga top decorticating machine at saka yung sa ating paggawa ng ating ropes, ano. At ang isa pating nakita ho natin yung paano nila na-envision na maitaas yung tiwala siguro, paano nakuha yung tiwala ng ating mga miyembro, kung paano mula sa maliit na kapital, maliit na membership ay lumago no, yung ito naman lalago ito pag nakikita ng mga magsasaka na karapat dapat nilang pagkatiwalaan yung kanilang mga so yung communication siguro, no, communication among siguro pwede natin tanungin yung ibang mga farmer leaders natin dito, pero yun po yung mga nakita natin, no, yung partnership hindi lamang sa iisang ahensya, no, partnership with other agencies that provide support doon sa kanilang cooperative. At ang isa pati na nakita ko yung tiwala sa kakayanan nila, tiwala sa Panginoon. No, nakita natin yung lalo na sa Lamak, yung nakita po natin na talagang nag-aano pa ng yung regular natin, no, spiritual enlightenment of our members. Yan, napaka-importante po.
May gustong sabihin si Miss Luisa Molo from Balingasag.
Sa Lamak, si ma'am, nagtataas ng kamay.
Si Miss Lamak po muna, Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative.
Okay, so in addition to that, tama yung sinasabi ni Administrator, kasi po, importante po yung trust and confidence po ng ating mga farmers to the organization. That is why the very essential po yung i-cluster po namin yung aming mga cocoa farmers. And then of course, we capacitate them. And then with transparency of our operation, they also participate in the market test. Kasi kailangan po natin silang ma-empower. And it should be from the farmers na sila na po yung mag-dictate po sa presyo po sa buying po ng ating mga product. So under this ko the participatory. So everybody will be hindi lang sila na ito ang susundin. So we let them participate. That is why in the small cluster of 10 to 15, meron tayong mga set of officers, and they're the one also nag-canvas sila kung magkano yung mailing price, yung ganon. And then pinag-usapan po natin sa cooperative, because we always believe that pag sila po yung ating mga magsasaka, ang inuuna po natin, then a small profit margin na lang po sa cooperative. At kung meron naman pong magandang profit po, ROI po ang cooperative, we will also let them understand that they are in the cooperative, they own the cooperative, and that sila po ay by share po sa income po ng ating co-op through the dividend. So, pangalawa po, pag ang importante po dito sa industry po ng ating cocoa, it should be a value chain. Kaya nga, kailangan po namin i-monitor po yung clustering po ng farmers that will to ensure the supply of the sufficiency of the mga nuts po. Otherwise, ano naman po yung i-process po natin kung hindi naman po ang farmers mag-supply. And other than that, kung halimbawa isa sa mga product natin ay biglang nag-low po yung presyo, halimbawa nag-down po yung presyo ng copra, but then we can also diversify. Kaya nga, yung nuts po ay zero waste, yung cocoa po is zero waste siya, because magamit po natin yung shells, magamit po natin yung coir, so diversify siya. So yan ang po ang ini-encourage ko sa ating mga kasama, lalong-lalo na yung ating mga cooperative, na maging passionate po tayo sa kanila, because some of our cocoa farmers parang nawala ng pag-asa. So tayo na po yung mag-inspire po sa kanila na walang imposible na maging posible po pag tayo po ay nanalangin po. So yan ang po ang maidagdag ko to inspire po sa ating mga kasama.
May gusto pong idagdag si Mr. Armel Amparo. He is raising his hand po.
Apa. Isang magandang oras po sa ating lahat. Una po pasasalamat sa Philippine Coconut Authority at congratulations po sa napakagandang oportunidad na ipinagkaloob niyo po sa Yakap at Halik Multipurpose Co-op. Ganun din po sa CDA at sa iba pang mga ahensya. Ang concern po natin dito kasi po tayo nga po ay naging isa sa mga beneficiary ng Dolly Saupi Fund. Parang kami lang po ipapollow up dahil kami po nakapag-submit sa PCA as Coco Hub for direct copra marketing at ito po during the administrator Duque na hindi po ito nagkaroon ng katuparan hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Alam natin po na malawak po yung area of operation ni Yakap at Halik. Balak po natin na yung expansion na ginagawa natin ay magtuloy-tuloy. Ano po ba yung dapat gawin ng Yakap at Halik para matanggap po yung benepisyo mula sa tanggapan ng PCA para ito pong ginagawa natin na nakatutulong sa mga magsasaka partikular sa mga magniniyog ay maramdaman ng mas mabilis ng mga area na kailangan nating tulungan, puntahan kasi marami pong mga maliliit na farmer organization and farmer cooperative na tinutulungan po si Yakap at Halik. Kaya lang kung ang puhunan ni Yakap at Halik ay hindi sapat o ang tulong galing sa iba't ibang ahensya o sa sariling puhunan ng co-op ay madudugtungan ng PCA, napakalaking bagay po para mas mapaunlad natin ang industriya at mas mapasaya ang mga farmer. Kaya yun po yung isang kahilingan po ng inyong abang lingkod para sa tanggapan. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po. Anyway, ito po ang natin, kasama naman dito nga sa ating sa ating Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund Act, yung paano mapalawig itong ating credit facilities for our coconut farmer organizations. So ito po maisaan natin sa ngayon naman po pwede nating makapag ang ating tanggapan, mai-connect kayo sa ating available financial institutions, miski ang ACPC meron din po dito sa ating sa Department of Agriculture upang sabi nga madugtungan yung pangangailangan kapital ng ating but ang isa pang natin dito po yung nga sabi nga other partners in sa diyan sa inyong local areas can be of help na nito para lalo pa ninyong mapagyaman ang inyong kapasidad. At we will get in touch with you also through our operations para matugunan itong inyong pangailangan.
Meron pa pong mga natitirang tanong po dito sa chat box from Luisa Molo and SFC Kim. Paano po makaka-avail ng mga libreng coconut seedlings? At paano po makakasali sa coconut cooperative?
Yung pong sa atin sa coconut seedlings, naman ito makipag-ugnayan lang po sa nearest PCA office. Meron po tayong regional, meron tayong provincial offices. At pwede rin kung hindi sa PCA kung wala kayong direktang access, pwede rin ito sa inyong mga local agricultural offices para maiparating sa amin. Ang gagawin po naman natin dyan, of course, titingnan natin, i-assess natin yung inyong lugar. Dahil titingnan, kasi actually sa ngayon, ang daming nanghihingi ng seedlings sa atin. Iba't ibang lugar. Kaya nga ang ginagawa natin ngayon, magtayo na ng mga seed farm sa iba't ibang probinsya. Pero sa ngayon, ang ginagawa, habang itinatayo natin pa yung ibang mga seed farm, ang sabi nga, ang gagawin natin dyan, titingnan yung inyong lugar. Ano ba ang inyong plano? Titingnan din yung karakter ng inyong pagtataniman. Dahil alam niyo ang sabi nga may suitability. Hindi depende kasi may mga nangihingi nga sa atin ng mga ng mga pananim. Sabi, sir, bigyan mo kami ng hybrid. Ano pong hybrid? Sabi, yung pong dwarf ay ang atin pong hybrid nasa mga 50 varieties. Kung iba pang varieties, sabi nga nasa 200 varieties ang alin po doon. Ang unang tanong, titingnan makita yung lugar, sabi nga yung suitability, no? Sabi maliban doon, ano ba ang inyong industriyang papasukin? Kasi importante po makalaman natin kung ano yung papasukin yung industriya kasi may mga suitable varieties for particular products. No, bawa kung inyong cocoa sugar ang gusto niyo, merong ibang varieties na ang kanyang kaya lamang i-produce na tuba ay 2 liters per day. Eh meron namang iba nagpo-produce ng 5 litro kada araw. Eh bakit ka magtatanim ng variety na 2 litro kada araw lamang ang kayang i-produce? No, meron din kung gusto mo ng BCO, meron naman yung mataas ang kanyang lauric content. Meron din medyo mas mababa, may 40, may 65%. So depende kung anong industriya ang inyong papasukin. So kailangan pong makipag-ugnayan, ma-assess yung lugar, malaman anong inyong plano para mabigyan kayo ng tamang advice kung ano ang magandang itatanim sa inyong lugar. Hindi lang po yung kumbaga kung ano yung available, yun ang itatanim natin. Depende sa kung ano yung ating plano, no, sa industriya na of course sabi ko nga eventually maglalagay po tayo ng mga seed farms sa iba't ibang probinsya para kanya-kanyang hindi na po tayo magta-transport ng galing pa sa Zamboanga, no, galing Cotabato at nang matugunan lahat ng pangangailangan ng ibang mga magsasaka natin.
Almost time na po tayo. Last question na po ito from Gerardo Sanchez Rodrigo. For PC Administrator Sir Madrigal, sana po matulungan po ang mga farmers na galing sa palay na sahod ulan na maging niyugan ang lugar gaya ng Thailand Technology. Ang kailangan po nito ay backhoe na sana katuwang ang ahensya ng DPWH upang matulungan sa makinarya.
Kay Mr. Jerry Rodrigo from Cabusao, Camarines Sur, no? Tayo po ngayon ay nasa proseso na inaayos yung ating Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan. No, siguro po ang maganda po dito, sabi nga yung ating mga plano, pina-finalize po yan, ginagawa mula sa local level. Siguraduhin po natin na maisama ninyo ang inyong mga rekomendasyon doon sa ating local, provincial coconut and farmers and industry development plan na eventually papasok po sa deliberation sa Regional Economic Development Committee ng Regional Development Council. No, para masiguro po natin na together with the other proposals diyan po sa inyong lugar, ito po ay pag-aaralan, titingnan yung yung impact, titingnan yung yung gaano sabi nga suitability ng mga proposals at eventually ipaprioritize po ito for funding. Kaya kung ako ang akin po maipapayo, makipag-ugnayan, no, sa inyong mga lokal na pamahalaan, lalong-lalo na, no, dahil ito naman yung sa Provincial Development Council, yan po ay pinamumunuan ng ating local governor. No, but of course, in partnership with the other agencies, PCA, DTI, PhilMec, nandyan din po, no, yung makinarya na sinasabi ninyo, yung Thailand Technology. Titingnan po kung ano po ba ang inyong kinakailangan na pasilidad. At of course, bago po ilagay ito, titingnan yung inyong kakayanan for sustainability. Kaya andyan po ang ating Cooperative Development Authority na para titingnan yung yung kaya bang ma-sustain ang kung bibigyan ng makina, no, and of course with the other agencies na natin. So importante po mailagay sa ating development plan at ng ating mapondohan.
So maraming salamat po Administrator Benji Madrigal for answering those questions. Marami rin pong salamat Mr. Ray Elevason ng CDA. Marami rin pong salamat kay KDA Roel Rosales, Miss Rose Villaruel at sa ating mga representative from different cooperatives. Binabalik ko po ngayon ang floor kay Mr. Dan for closing.
Maraming salamat po. And happy to hear na very engaged po ang ating mga viewers, ating mga attendees. I do believe we have almost 100 on Facebook, no? Meron tayong almost 100 viewers on Facebook, 135 shares, 150 reacts, and of course, ang ating almost 200 dito sa Zoom, no? Na currently sitting at 165. Maraming salamat po sa pagdalo sa unang araw ng Coco-Kwentuhan 2021. Before we close up, I would like to invite over on camera si Mr. Walter M. Partosa, Deputy Administrator of Administration and Finance Branch, para po sa awarding of our participants. Yan. The plaque of appreciation to our distinguished guests. Sir Walter, please.
Thank you, Dan. So for the different guests and presenters, allow me to read the certificate. The Philippine Coconut Authority presents this plaque of appreciation in grateful acknowledgement and sincere appreciation for the valuable service rendered as keynote speaker in the Coco Negosyo webinar. Sa Coco-Kwentuhan Negosyo, ang pag-usapan, suporta ng industriya at gobyerno sa Maninyog ay asahan. As part of the 35th National Coconut Week celebration, given this 23rd day of August 2021 at PCA Diliman, Quezon City. Signed, Benjamin R. Madrigal Jr., Administrator. This is presented to Honorable Cynthia A. Villar, Senator of the Republic of the Philippines. Honorable Joseph E. Encabo, Chairman of the Coconut Development Authority, as our keynote speakers. We also present this plaque to our different presenters. We have Yakap Atalik, Multipurpose Cooperative, represented by Mr. Armel Amparo, or General Manager. Lamak Multipurpose Cooperative, represented by Ms. Elena Limocon, the General Manager. Bansalang Coconut Farmers and Workers Multipurpose Cooperative, represented by Chairperson Mr. Victor Ortega. The Balingasag Coconut Sugar Village, represented by Board of Directors Ms. Luisa Molo and Ms. Ludema Gora. Thank you very much for your assistance and your participation.
Maraming salamat po, ladies and gentlemen, once more, Sir Walter Partosa. Thank you as well to our distinguished guests and everyone who joined us. Once more, ito po ang Coco-Kwentuhan 2021. Unang araw pa lang ito where we discussed cooperative-led negosyos. Sama-sama sa kooperatiba, sa Coco Negosyo, ang lahat sasagana. Bukas po muli, magsama-sama po tayo, kita-kits. Same time, same place dito po sa ating Zoom and via Facebook and YouTube. Hopefully, magkita-kita po ulit tayo. It will be all about LGU-led Coco Negosyo. Sa Coco Negosyo, suporta ng lokal na pamahalaan ang masasandalan. Ako nga po muli si Leo, ang inyong host sa araw na ito at sa mga susunod na araw dito sa Coco-Kwentuhan as we celebrate 35th National Coconut Week. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Mabuhay po kayo lahat.
Thank you.
Welcome to the 35th National Coconut Week. This is the first time PCA will be doing a virtual exhibit. The objectives of this activity are to establish awareness of the importance of the coconut industry, to promote coconut products and byproducts and their benefits, and to encourage investments. we have 18 private companies producing various coconut products, participating on this virtual trade fair, and 2 government agencies. By using the mouse over and clicking the eye icon, our potential buyers will be able to see company information with contact details, address, and their product lines. By simply clicking icon button of the company, you will go directly to their booth. This is the Philippine Coconut Authority booth. All marketing collaterals like company banner, AVP, posters, and brochures. Contact information can also be found in the booth and the chat box for inquiries. In central setting, it showcases coconut products. All furniture are all made of coconut wood. The directory can also be found here. Coconut bioengineering technology. The technology refers to the use of coconut materials to stabilize slopes and minimize soil erosion by placing materials in sloping land and embankments. These materials hold vulnerable soil and permit vegetation to control soil surface erosion and conserve the productivity of the soil.
Magtanim ka lang ito, tiyak ikaw ang siyang panalo. Walang matatalo, ito ang sigurado. Ang puno ng buhay ang ating pag-asa. Halika na.